Well, here we are, and here you are, which is very fortuitous for us that you are here watching us right now so that we don't feel like we are mimes falling in the forest. We are actually, providing a service, entertainment. That's what we do here at Guild Spear. You know what else we do? We raise money. We raise money for No Kid Hungry. And we have crushed it so far, getting over $2,500 already. And that's a lot of meals for a lot of kids. So super happy about that. Congratulations to the team here. Congratulations to Phoenix Wacky and Wanderers Haven, also our teammates in this, helping us crush hunger and kick its ass. We still got some room for more, so let's keep her rolling. Let's keep her rolling. We'll talk about all of that in a little bit, but first, I can't do this alone. I've tried just GMing myself and playing on my own, and it doesn't work. So I tried to get some people here, and I have tonight once more invited these absolutely fantastic people to come and join me. Hello, fantastic people. How are you doing?
Pretty good.
Hello.
All right.
Oh, look at Beth. Maybe her camera's crashed. She's being very immobile. Unfortunately, Beth can't join us tonight. She is away, but it's fine. We knew that. She's with us in spirit. If not, via the power of the internet. But everybody else is here, and I would like to give you all a little chance to say hi, tell us who you are, what you got going on, and we will start tonight with Miko. Miko, how you doing?
Hey there. Not too bad. Not too bad. I am Miko, otherwise known as the OKSGM. You can find me on all the socials, or most all the socials anyway, at the_OKS_GM. And when I am not doing the things that Christian requires of me, you can generally find me over at the Wanderers Haven Twitch channel. And soon to be in the near future, you'll also see more of me on the La Nata Turna Twitch channel as well. I produce games, run games, make things for games, and do all kinds of things for games. And if you are at all interested in games or doing any of those things that I also do for games, you should look me up. And maybe we could talk about those things.
Talk about games.
Yeah.
It's all about the games. Miko, gamifying life. Is that what's going on? You got
Something
loot boxes? Got loot boxes. Loot boxes. We should have loot boxes. That's what
working on it.
All right. Thanks for being here, Miko. Appreciate you. We had a good chat last night with Olo. It was a lot of fun.
We did.
Yeah, absolutely. And it'll be up on YouTube as soon as I have 2 minutes to rub together, but it was a lot of fun, and I look forward to doing it again. Thank you for being here tonight and participating in this one more time into this Shadesong action that we got here.
We're done with the contract after this, right? Like, I get my firstborn back?
There's a new contract. Yeah, new contract. Same as the old contract. Hey, Shelly, how you doing?
Hey.
Speaking of under contract.
Signed in blood.
That's right. So,
I'm Shelly. I can be found on Twitter at Real Flea Monkey and Flea Monkey on the chats. And you could find me here next Tuesday and every Tuesday playing Greyhawk. And every Wednesday I do a little Pathfinder homebrew over with Tithalanos. Tonight I'm playing Verena Arcadia, who is, I think, successful in her mission. We'll see what comes next. I feel like there's a complication afoot. I just feel it. I feel it in my bones.
Probably a safe bet.
No, never. Well, would I do something like that?
It's Shadesong, that's why.
That's right. I was wondering if I could keep calling you Bibbles, even when we're not playing Greyhawk. Would that be okay with you?
I guess.
Bibbles. Nice.
Bibbles.
I like it. I like it. Thank you, Shelly, for being here.
Bibbles brings it. How about that?
Bibbles brings it. That's good. That's your trademark now.
Yeah.
Whenever you pull out that sword, it goes brings it. Speaking of bringing it, the man, the myth, the legend, Dungeon Mr. Ty, in the flesh.
Hey.
From his, I don't know, nook. What's up, man?
It's been brought in. Yeah, I am.
Bring the cabinets. You bring the cabinets.
Dungeon Mr. Ty. Yeah, well, there is stuff going on. There is little bit of Morkborg happening soon, right? That's
next
next
Wednesday
week.
or next Monday?
It's Wednesday.
That's Wednesday. That's right.
It is, yes. And there is also a little bit of Adventure Sling stuff going on. We will be at KublaCon in Burlingame, California next weekend.
Decreeing a pleasure dome. I think I've done that joke though.
Have you?
I think I did it last time.
Well, I'll accept
I
it this
asked if
time.
you'd be decreeing a pleasure dome, but
Oh, right. Yes.
I think I did it.
Yeah.
You got
That's okay because it's a literary reference and we can appreciate those here.
yeah, exactly.
But we are also getting ready to do our crowdfunding campaign. We bumped it a little bit to the latter part of June, but we would love to have you come sign up to follow us on our pre-launch and get the updates that are going on with that, because we're going to bring New of Arden to life. But that's just a little bit of what's going on there. Adventuresling.com stuff. Tonight, I am playing Gerontis, the incredible carpenter who just cannot wait to get out of this basement and start his business.
He definitely carpents with the best of them.
Yes, Carpentium.
Carpentium. I like that. That should be his slogan. When you open your shop with Tertius, if you open it with Tertius at this point after that.
I need somebody in the mailroom.
That's right. Just to handle all the orders. Thank you so much, Ty, for bringing in soup. Wish you all the luck with the New of Arden, the launch, the fundraising for that. Definitely look forward to checking it out. And I know you're going to be super busy promoting it and going around all over the place. So, if you ever decide to come to Montreal, let me know. Yep.
I shall indeed.
I have a shed with a hammock in the back.
Have cabinets.
Yep. A cabin.
All right.
You can be the cabin boy. Hey, I am the Bleakseason. You can find me at the Bleakseason on Twitter. You can check out bleakseason.com where I keep stuff about all my games. I'm usually hanging out here. Tomorrow we got a special game. I'll talk about that in a second. I also do want to give a shout out to my producer, Super Andy, in the back there. Like it's like a Wizard of Oz. Like I'm the big wizard in front, but Andy's in the back making everything happen. That's kind of how it rolls over here. So thank you very much, Andy. Shout out to Tabletop Audio, who provide all our music for us. Check out their website for tons of free tracks, and a couple bucks gets into their Patreon. And you can get even more tracks. Music's awesome, all sorts of different sounds and selections, and there's a soundboard you can use also. So we definitely love the Tabletop Audio. We use the Dragonbane system for Shadesong. Although it is a custom world, we do use the Dragonbane system by Free League because it works pretty well. I like it a lot, and we like the Free League stuff because they're awesome. Shout out to Guild Superior, who not only are a bunch of cool people hanging out in the Discord, posting coffee memes, but also helped us get to the point where we are now with the funds we have raised for No Kid Hungry. I'll talk about that a bit more in a second also. But our stuff should be popping up in the chat. If you are interested, connect with us, come and hang out, follow the links, follow the Yellow Brick Road. They'll take you right to us. We will, speaking of raising funds, let us do that. Actually, let us talk about that. Right now, we are raising funds for No Kid Hungry. We have so far raised $2,510, I do believe, which is absolutely amazing. We owe it all to our people, the fans that have come to watch our stuff, that have donated, also the people who have done so through Wonders Haven and Phoenix Iwaki. Our communities are absolutely generous, giving people, and we appreciate all of you, and the kids appreciate all of you, and we still got a bit of ways to go. So we're working it. Tonight, you have the opportunity, if you want to impact the game by donating. You can do things like buy healing potions for the player of your choice. You can buy advantages to the players of your choice. You can even choose to give them a heroic ability or help them discover a long lost powerful artifact. It's all up there. You can follow the link that is in the chat. You can use your phone to flickety flick the little boondoggle thingy down there, which will take you to the donation page. If you can, don't give away a dollar that you'll miss, but if you can, please consider it. It's for a very worthy cause, and you'll help out these players who are in over their head, even though they don't really know it yet. Tomorrow we have a very special, right here, a very special Blade Runner game that we're going to play with a lot of incentives already up there. If you want to pre-donate, you can do that there. It'll be here tomorrow at 8 Eastern. Am I lying? No, I think it's Eastern. Darling Creepshow, Danable Dave, Eric Mona, Crombie. We're going to run a very twisted little Blade Runner game. Looking forward to that. I'll talk about the rest of the stuff a little bit later, but for now, enough yibbering and yabbering. Thank you for being here with us. Let us begin, shall we? Shall we? Last session, you had managed to, you had first gone to repair the windmills, which were going to power the pumps to empty the water first out of the basement of the Citadel, and then eventually out of the city, hopefully. That was basically Vorena's dream, or her goal was to, because it was her tunnels that had been used to flood the city originally 10 years ago, and she wanted to kind of make up for her role in that by emptying the city. So you managed to do that. You repaired the windmills after negotiating with Red Varlic and his crew, and by negotiating I mean kicking their ass very savagely. So you kicked Red Varlic and his crew's ass. They left, you repaired the windmills, you got into the basement. The basement was filled with water. You had to go around, fix some pumps. You saw some weird stuff down there. There's a weird statue and some undead that were kind of swaying around it and so on and so forth. But you managed to make your way through the basement, repairing the pumps as you went along. Eventually you activated the sump pumps in the basement, which emptied out the basement and allowed you access to the controls of the major water evacuation system that would help eventually empty out the city. After doing that, you discovered a sort of entrance that went further down. You went down into this entrance underneath the city, and upon going down there, you discovered some old ruins of an old temple or something that, you know, over 1,000 years had sort of sunken into the ground, and this had been built over it. And in going even further down, you discovered an old abandoned temple that was littered with skeletons. And as you, well, I think it was Nephra went into it first, and as Nephra had gone into it, she had seen the skeletons start to move, and some rather scary looking, dubious looking sort of mummified wizard of sorts start to rise from a tomb in this particular room, while you guys haven't gone down there yet. Well, let's do that. Let's get you guys down there. So, Nephra has gone down into this thing. The rest of you had come down, and actually I'll put the other map up first. Hey, thank you very much, Fantasy Animal Vegan, for the donation. You guys have 2 extra healing potions to put in your bags. So someone write them down somewhere. We won't bother with who's carrying them. It's just you have 2 potions. Whoever needs them at some point, you can have them. Thank you very much, Fantasy Animal Vegan. We appreciate you. I appreciate your... it's interesting because you gave me the advantages to damage them, and then you gave them the healing potion. So it's kind of a zero-sum game. I like it. I like it. It's very neat. Very neat. Thank you very much for the donation. I'll put the other map up first, actually, since the rest of you guys are still kind of up in the other section. You come down after Vorena, and who was with her? Was it Gerontis?
Was indeed.
Yeah.
Did you go all the way inside Gerontis? I don't remember.
I was following. I was keeping sort of security.
So we'll say that Dara and Tertius and Vorena, it's getting hard to tell who's Vorena and who's... you've come down to the first level,
They are sisters.
which is the underground, where the exactly where the ruins are. One of the things you notice as you come down there, and you kind of see where they went down, there's a crack in the foundation beneath one of the statues there that's crumbled, and you can see some light emanating from there. So as you're walking here, the ground is very spongy, so there is clearly water here at some point. One of the other things that that you notice is, you remember when you were in the room upstairs and you had found the water fountain and you kind of almost gone through the floor? You can see in here, somewhere around here in the ceiling, you can see where the water fountain has broken through the ceiling. You can see the pillar that Dara had summoned to block it. There's still a little bit of water that's kind of pouring in through that, but you can see that pillar coming through it, where and basically what had happened is some of the water pipes that would bring water to the fountain had burst, but the water continued coming through, so in time it had eroded what was keeping the stone together, and that's why when you stepped on it, it went through, and you can kind of see the base of the fountain that's kind of hanging over it, and then the pillar that Dara had put there to kind of seal it off. And there's still water that's still sort of coming down from that, although a lot less now since you've activated the sump pumps up there. But everywhere here, the ground is spongy, the stone is humid and kind of covered, so it's clear there's been water here before. As you approach the crack in the floor there, you hear Nephra and Gerontis downstairs sort of going, "Oh, holy hell, what's this? What's going?" Like kind of exclaiming that there's something that's sort of happening. There's a very narrow little gap that you can kind of squeeze through there. When you do,
Go down there.
you go
I
in.
think immediately.
You don't want to just plug the hole and leave.
Well, thought had crossed my mind, but
Yeah.
Tara, we should get down there. And I'll already start going as I'm saying that.
Tertius is like, "That looks really narrow, man. What if we stay stuck?" He's like the skinniest one of all of you by like a good 30-40 pounds.
Oh, I hope you very much get stuck, because that means that I get to unstuck you.
He's still pissed off about that whole betrayal thing. Come on, man. It's in the past, man. Water under
Go
the
down the
bridge.
fucking hole.
All right. Put the hammer away. And he crawls down into the hole. You find yourselves arriving in this skeleton-littered temple, as I was saying. So Vorena comes in. Is that Vorena? This is Nephra. Sorry, I mixed you up.
I'm the tanned one.
After, and Tertius is just in front of you. You see, as I was saying, aside from skeletons that are kind of starting to get up, you see this one other dude here who is sort of picking himself up from the on top of the sarcophagus where he was lying. He's wearing clothes that you don't really recognize, like they look really old and from a completely different, civilization and sort of era and whatnot. And he's sort of moving slowly, and you see skeletons, and I'm going to say there's 40, 50 skeletons that are sort of slowly kind of getting up. The room smells very musty. There's it's clear there's been a lot of water here. There's still water on the floor. The walls are completely wet and still kind of slimy. Everything that's cloth or wood has started to rot. You can clearly see, I really need to blow my nose. You can clearly see up here, there was a sort of set of stone stairs that would go up there that are broken now and kind of shattered. There was an old sort of altar that has completely rotted through. It was made out of wood and it's broken and kind of completely rotted through. There's a big sandstone statue of a coiled snake there. And there are skeletons everywhere. Here, you see this giant pillar that clearly begins somewhere deep underground and reaches to the ceiling of this temple. And it looks carved out of one giant stone of some dark purplish colors, and there's kind of a ring based around it. And just being this close to it, you can feel just power and energy radiating from it, even though it feels kind of dormant. Maybe you kind of see through it. The sides are kind of like crystalline, and you can kind of see a shape sort of moving inside, like there's something floating maybe inside of it. On the top of it, there appears to be something that maybe doesn't really belong there, but there's this kind of golden glowing, I'm going to say a basket, but it's kind of like this weird metal contraption, and it is enshrouded in plants and whatnot, and you recognize the same kind of yellowish flowers that you saw everywhere upstairs. You remember when you were coming in, there was these yellow flowers sort of everywhere, and you see a lot of them. You can't really make out exactly what that thing looks like from where you are, because it's pretty high, but it does emit a different kind of glow. Something that happened last time when you stepped in, you had gotten healed a little bit, Gerontis, and as you stand in here, anyone who needs it heals 2 points right now, as you can feel your wounds slowly kind of closing as you're kind of bathing in the light of this thing. And you can clearly see that there was once a sort of entrance here, or a hall or something, but it's been caved in completely. Can you make me, anyone who wants to can make me a observation roll, please? I'm gonna turn my...
That is
spot hidden.
Did you mean awareness or spot hidden? Not that it matters.
No, yeah, let's do spot hidden. That's all.
So I got a 9 under 14.
Got a 4 under 12.
Nice.
Got a 10 of 10.
Okay. So all of you can
What
sort
did
of...
Beth get? Oh,
Sorry?
you're never.
Most of you can kind of see sort of how the skeletons are placed, that there was some sort of battle here a long time ago. Like, it's clear that some of these skeletons were sort of enemy combatants. It looks like a large group fought a much smaller group. That many of the larger group were killed by the stones falling down and whatnot. Like, there was some sort of cave-in here. But some of them were clearly killed, like, you know, they have a cleaved skull, or it's clear that they were killed in a kind of fight thing. And so, yeah, as you walk in here now, you see this masked figure slowly standing up from the sarcophagus where it was sleeping, and it kind of leans there, and all around you, skeletons are slowly starting to rise up. What would you like to do?
Gerontis is pulling forth the hammer that he's been carrying around all the way since the store. I'm feeling pretty good in here, honestly. I don't know what's the matter with all these people.
Lorena will be pulling out her wrench, but hasn't turned it into any kind of a, like, standard weapon yet. And I think maybe advancing a little closer to Nephra and Gerontis.
You can move your...
Okay.
No one's attacking you, so you can... We're not in combat yet, so you can move if you want and do what you will.
Yeah, I think Dara, mainly because his hammer is always at the ready, also moves over this way. I don't think he's really clocked over much the dude in the mask yet.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's fixating more on the big glowing thing. And just from a perception question, how much of that big glowing thing reminds him of what he saw in the other monolith?
Yeah, it's clearly built along the same way. The energy feels, sort of similar, and there's no real doubt in your mind that this is a different, but still
and you said that thing on top feels different from... Okay.
Give me a magic roll, mentalism, I guess.
Elementalism?
Elementalism, yeah. So give me an elementalism roll.
That would be a natural 1.
Dragon.
Under 15.
Yeah, it's awesome. Dragon, all right, cool. So the energy that you're feeling off of this particular model, the other one was predominantly, it was the monolith of water, the other one that you'd seen, even though it was causing, as with all the others, this weird mashup of all the different types of elementals. It was clearly one of water. When you approach this one, you feel basically what would be, essentially arcane energy coming from it. So it is very clearly just a source of arcane power that is going very strongly from it. From the thing at the top, you're getting more of a sense of light and life. You get the feeling that, the reason that your wounds are closing and whatnot is from that. You do feel kind of a warmth from that light that's kind of closing. And it feels, and because you got a dragon, I will say that you realize that what's on top is not supposed to have this much power, but it's being amplified by what's beneath it. So whatever is beneath is amplifying that thing that in itself, it doesn't have that much power, only like kind of, fumes, if you will.
I am very much glad for that. I'm very much glad for that description because I was about to do something pretty stupid.
Stupid for one is brilliant to another, the line between the two.
Well, I don't want to help you, TPKS.
Oh, okay. So I'll try to manage on my own. So you're all sort of moving in, you're studying that monolith. This weird kind of mass figure sort of steps forward a little bit and kind of looks around. Well, anyone who has the skill, even if you don't have the skill, you can still roll, but give me a languages roll. If you don't have the skill, you can still roll, except that now you're rolling on just your... You don't have language is intelligence, so whatever your attribute is, if you don't have the skill itself, tell me what your attribute is, I'll tell you what your base chance is.
Well, at the moment, I don't even know my own language.
There you go.
I got a 15 over 7.
Okay.
My intelligence is 13. I don't have that.
So you're rolling for 6 or less.
Oh, okay. I rolled a 7.
Oh. Bullshit, no cigar. The thing starts to speak in a tongue that you don't understand. But you can see Nephra cocking her ear, and it seems that she's understanding what the thing is saying. And she kind of frowns a little bit. And it looks like he asked her a question, and he's kind of staring at her. And she says, he said that for a long buried ancient secret temple, there sure are a lot of tourists that come down here, or something to that effect. I'm not quite sure what to make of that.
Nephra, does he have what you're looking for?
I think that what I'm looking for is on top of that thing there, whatever that thing is. Hold on. The creature speaks again, and Nephra answers back in a language that's not exactly like his, but fairly similar. And they exchange a little bit. And she says he wants to use a spell, I guess, so that he can understand you and you can understand him. Is everyone okay with that?
Finally.
I think that would be helpful.
He's speaking a very ancient dialect of Asir, by the way, like one that's been gone for a very long time, and I'm just getting like half of what he's saying. So she turns back and talks to him, and he has this weird sort of crooked staff, and he slams it on the ground, and you can see it glow a little bit, and then he speaks, and when he speaks, you still hear him speak in his regular tongue, but you can understand what he's saying, sort of thing. And he says,
Is it like bad lip syncing? Where,
yeah, that's basically exactly what it is. So, and he says, well, what do you have to say for yourselves?
I'm just
get
curious,
a moment of peace in here.
looking around, are any of these skeletons, are they dressed in a varying degree of eras and things like that? Or is
So there are a number of them that are dressed very similarly, again, in a kind of older fashion that you don't really recognize, but like the vast majority of them are kind of dressed. For what you can tell from the dress, like the clothes are just hanging,
Rotted.
rod and whatnot. There's a couple that not only do they look like they might have been dressed kind of differently, they have weapons and armors, and two of them appear to be Diavok. Like the rest of them kind of all appear to be sort of fairly human or Eldrin in kind of appearance. I'll show you what the four that kind of look different look like. So there's a couple of them that are clearly Diavok. Their horns are broken from having been crushed by the falling rocks and whatnot. And the other two have very similar to Nephra markings on their face, and they have the long pointed ears of the Eldrin. And they're kind of just standing there and sort of staring at you, same as the others. The others all kind of look more uniform. And so Nephra says, we're very sorry to disturb your rest. Do you have a name? She says, I'm the 7th scholar. There were 6 other scholars before me who held all the knowledge of the world, and they passed it on to me. Unfortunately, I died before I could pass it on to the 8th scholar, so I don't know if there ever was an 8th scholar or more. It is possible it ended with me, which is tragic. I was like, okay, are we going to fight here? What's going on? Do you want to fight?
Well, I don't think we want to fight necessarily.
That would be pretty smart, since you can't kill us, and so it would just go on and on and on and on. You being mortal and all would get bored very eventually, unless you got dead. Which, eventually you would.
Captain, what did he mean by other visitors?
I don't know. That'd be the next question we should maybe ask. I don't want to piss him off, though.
I'm hearing what you're saying. You realize?
What other visitors?
It seems like not 1,000 years can go by without someone traipsing in here. Impossible to get a moment's peace.
Well, that seems kind of extreme, don't you think?
Well, there's been others here and there. There was one here a while back. Strange woman. But the last big to-do was when, and he points at the 4. These rapscallions came here. Caused all this. We were fine. We were just resting. This is our final resting place. That's all we want. But no. People keep coming here. Now this thing, and he points with his staff at the top of the monolith. That thing won't let us rest. Have you come for it? Please, tell me you've come for it.
I look at Nephra.
Nephra says, yeah, that's what I came from. Everyone sort of has a different goal, but I kind of get the feeling that, and she turns to you guys and she says, I kind of get the feeling that, what we saw upstairs with the way the infected have changed? I don't know why, but something kind of tells me that it's because this is here that's happening, and I'm kind of worried that if I take this away...
Well, that's a good point. Maybe we should leave.
You can't leave. You have to take that blasted thing. It won't let us get rest. Keeping us here half alive, half dead. And all we want is a blessed sleep. We've done our bit. We've done our part. Take it away.
And just what was your bit in your part?
Well, I was the 7th scholar. The
Right.
preeminent.
But since you didn't pass on your supposed knowledge to the 8th scholar,
Yes.
Doesn't that mean that you
Tragedy.
don't deserve rest?
Oh, everyone deserves rest. Been in here for over 1,000 years. You know what that does to a person just sitting here staring at these skeletons who really they look active now. They look like they're, great fun now, but when there's no one living here, they just lie on the floor. Now occasionally the water rises and then they float. Then they sink back down and the water goes back down. That's the extent of the entertainment that I've gotten. There's no stimulation. It is just this dreary, unending nothingness. And I tire of it. Please.
So who came and put down that little device thing on top of the glowy bit?
Those 4 clowns over there.
They've been
They
nothing
came
but
in here,
trouble.
and if it was just them, it would have been fine. They came in, I saw them, I figured, well, let them do their thing. Kept an eye on them, mind you. And they started messing around with that thing, putting things on top of that, and then all of a sudden there's like a whole bunch of other just yipping and hollering and screaming, and then they started fighting, and then the sound was just and then there was just like 50 of them in here, and then I got up to try and just clear up the place, and then one of them did something and it brought down most of the ceiling and parts of the walls, and just a mess. Just a mess. And now look, fucking bones everywhere.
You said that happened 1,000 years ago?
Give or take. It's hard to keep count down here.
You guys should be ashamed of yourself.
One of them, one of the ones that looks kind of like an elf, goes, I don't know if we should be ashamed of ourselves. We were just doing what we were supposed to do, what we were told to do.
By who?
By our captain,
Oh, I don't know who that is.
Kavir Bright Eyes. Nefra says, and you can see the reaction on Nefra's face, like, you worked for Kavir? He says, yes, he was our military leader. He sent us here with this thing to hide it from, and he points to the other skeletons, those guys, but they followed us all the way here, and then during the fight we had to take drastic measures.
Is that why it's all destroyed in here? Is that the drastic measure?
Well, it was pretty banged up when we came in. I gotta admit, it was already kind of looking pretty down. But yeah, I guess we did most of this. My name's Dash, by the way.
I'm Gerard.
Pleased to meet you. I'm Verena.
It's nice to talk to people. I'm not quite sure why I'm still here talking to you. Like, you would happen to have an explanation for that? Because
Hey, Nefra. Who's the captain?
Nefra's like kind of really stunned, but yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
All right, Nefra. Who are they talking about? How old are you?
Well, they are talking about my father.
Oh, your dad was old.
How is that possible? Your father.
My father's people, the Asir had secrets. They lived very long lives. Last news that I have, he's still alive somewhere, but the whole reason why I came to get this, and Chris doesn't remember if Beth told you this story last time. but if she did, she wouldn't repeat it here, but I'll repeat it in case she didn't. She'll say, my father was trying to protect his people when he found his people's enemy, the Gurak. He found them pillaging the tomb at the base of the monolith in Karth, and the one that houses Suna, the goddess of Karth. And after they destroyed the Gurak, my father felt that it was safer to remove Suna from the monolith in order to, because there was an army of Gurak coming, but he didn't want them to know where he was sending it, so he created a couple of decoys, and he sent his most trusted soldiers in 3 different directions with them. One was to the west, one to the north, and one here. And I've already gone to the west, and I found that first one, and it was a decoy, and so this was the second one, but I get the feeling it's probably the second decoy. In any case, the reason why I'm doing this is, in doing this, my father, I think, doomed his people. Karth used to be a beautiful, luscious jungle land, just filled with water and life and plants and trees. And after some time, after this event, it started dying off, and it became the desert that it is now. And most people think that it was just the magic that the Aesir used in destroying the Gurak that did that, but my theory is that in trying to save his people and his land, my father actually doomed it, and that's why my name is Salt Eyes, and our family name was originally Bright Eyes. But it's said that after my father saw what he'd done, he cried every day for his people and for his error. But I felt that if I could find what he'd taken out of the monolith again and bring it back, I could probably help restore the land to what it used to be, and help restore a little bit of honor to the memory of my father. I guess he did some very questionable things in his time, but he meant well when he did this. And the other one I was talking to, Dash, will say he was a good man. He really did mean well. He thought he was sacrificing himself. I didn't know that he survived. He was facing incredible odds, and he sent me and my captain and my friends over here. I had my suspicions it was just a decoy, but anyways, we did what we had to do. I'm glad that he and some of the others perhaps survived, but and so Nefer said, I think that's a decoy, but it clearly has enough of that energy, of that power of Suna left in it, that it's been able to affect this, and it's probably what's keeping these people here in this situation, and it's probably what in time has transformed the infected upstairs. And I kind of worry that if I take it away.
Why would you need to take it away if it's a decoy?
It might have enough power in it that I don't know where the thing is. It's north somewhere. As far as I know, I might never be able to find it. At least with this, there'd be something to put back in there, and there's obviously some energy in it.
Well, you're saying might. Like it might work to fix your homeland. But it sounds like it will for sure change everything here if you take it.
But
And not in a good way.
if there's gonna be a fight among the pirates, then it doesn't matter what this place is like in the end. Right?
I mean, I'm not sure I agree with that, but even if something like that is true, we're not entirely sure how to remove that thing, even if we wanted to. And you're potentially taking a bit of a risk when you know for certain, right, that the previous one was a decoy. And if you're thinking that this one is a decoy, then the third one isn't, if I'm understanding correctly.
Unless
Right?
there's some chicanery afoot and none of them are real, but everything I've studied and read and the people I've talked to on the subject say that one was true and the other two were decoys, and that means the one that went north somewhere would have been Suna. I don't understand that. I don't know what type of power lives in this kind of monolith thing. Like, that's not something I've found any information about. I don't know if this thing has something like that, or
What about that guy? Hey, guy, do you know what kind of power lives in this thing?
we never really knew for sure. All we knew was that the magic that was in this world originated from here. Before us, before my people, no one had these kinds of powers, and then one day this fell from the sky. As if from the stars itself, it fell and embedded itself right deep into the mountaintop. We built a temple around it to protect it and honor it. We realized that in servicing it and worshiping it, it had these strange energies that would wash over us and allow us to do miraculous things. We were killed for it at some point, but it remained here. We never really truly understood it. It was just a present, a gift from the gods, a piece of star that fell down here. We never knew anything more about them. We heard that there was one a little further north in Karth that was similar to this, but back then we were constantly wary of the wars that were going on up there, so we were content with this one. And he goes over and he kind of puts his hand on it very kind of lovingly as he's talking. And it gave us so much. And it really does not feel diminished even after all this time, even after my people have evidently been erased from memory.
Yeah, I never heard of you. Dara, are you finding what you need here? It seems like we're at a dead end for everybody.
Well, I don't know about that. Mainly, I needed to confirm this place's existence more than anything else. But what I'm probably looking most for is going to be buried under something. Maybe under some of these skeletons, maybe under some of the rubble. I'm not entirely sure. I need to do a little bit more digging, I think. But before we do anything, I think we need to resolve this fucker's problems. And I point at the masked guy. Because he seems like he's got some issues.
He wants us to take this item off of here.
I mean, I
Sounds
know what
like.
he wants, but it sounds like he's A, lacking good priorities, and B, not seeing things quite so clearly. So either he's a mad fucker, or he just needs a little bit of a realignment of his perspective.
I'm not denying that I'm mad. 1,000 years spent buried underground will do that to you, but
Watching skeletons float.
For
I
entertainment.
am pretty clear about what I want, and I want rest. And as long as that is here, I will not have it.
But did you have it before?
I did this.
Are you certain about that? Because it seems like you didn't.
I did.
You
I
were
was
you've been
awoken once they
complaining.
brought that thing in here. I was blissfully unaware of all things.
Well, then why did you complain about so many people coming down here in the centuries?
Because no one
or
ever takes it
millennia
away.
before?
No one ever takes it away.
Oh, so all of the visitors then have only come since these asshats came and brought this thing that annoys you so much.
Yes.
Right.
Well, where did they go?
How should I know? I did not follow them. I am stuck here.
Is that a
Wonder why they-
personal choice?
No. It's my resting place. Have you no understanding of what happens when someone dies? You are placed in a resting place and you rest. That is the whole point.
I mean, technically, that's according to certain traditions and beliefs about the afterlife, but I don't know if that's necessarily an application to everyone.
Well, it's true here.
Oh, okay.
I was the last of the scholars, and they buried me here with our god as a reward. And I was blissfully unaware of everything. And then when they brought this thing, it gave me back a spark of my former self, as it did for some of these poor fellows. Not enough to consider myself living again, which would be one thing, but just enough to make me aware of how not alive I am.
That
And that
sucks.
is what
Does it though?
It doesn't
Like-
sound great to me. I've been here for 10 minutes and I'm already stressing out hard just thinking about it.
Right, but this guy, he's supposed to be some kind of like super scholarly man that didn't get an opportunity to pass on his whatever ridiculous amounts of knowledge that he has to make an 8th scholar. And now he has an opportunity to do it again, and he's blown it off because he wants to take a nappy. I don't fucking get it.
All right.
I say we just move him somewhere else away from this item, and he could
You
sleep there.
can't move me. This is my resting place.
Can we
You
move
move
your
that.
resting
It
place?
does not belong here.
But maybe it does. Because fate has brought it here, and it's had an effect on a lot of other beings in the world.
Well, Nephra, do you want it?
I don't think. I mean, I think it's fine if we take it out of here, but I don't think I can take it far from here. I don't think it would be right for me to possibly condemn these people who now have a chance at a decent life because of this, for
Oh,
a chance that it might bring back. No, that wouldn't be right.
we could give it to Hornblower.
I think we should maybe take it to the lady upstairs, Orzia. She seemed wise enough, and her and that Bowen feller can decide what to do with it, maybe? Maybe it doesn't need to be here. It can be wherever their people are.
Can we
Oh.
take it off of the?
Look, let me be clear about something. I don't know a great deal of the details of this place. I'm assuming that historian fella knows more about that. But I do know magic better than most. And what I can tell you is that little doohickey on top of the giant magical pillar is going to be horrendously diminished the moment you take it off. And there may even be consequences that we don't know about if we were to try to remove it. So, if
But so
you're
you
thinking,
admit that this thing is going against nature. It is altering the course of what should be.
no, I'm admitting that it's doing a purpose, and maybe that purpose is having unintended original consequences, but that does not mean that all of the consequences that are the result of it are bad. That's what I'm saying. And because we don't know about it, we could very well fuck things up even more by trying to remove it.
This is hard.
Right. So, as much as your final rest might be something that you desperately want, I need to be very clear to you, fella. It's probably not something you need right this very fucking moment.
Well, I guess, once you've waited 1,000 years, you can wait another 100.
And maybe,
that certainly takes it off our plate.
maybe if you take a little bit of time, you can rethink the craziness in your mind a bit and realize that this has given you the potential for an opportunity to do something more. Something you couldn't have done in the past because you fucking died.
But what if I don't want to do something more?
Well, then that's a decision that you have to think about and decide on if it's worth it or not.
I've thought about
Was
it. I don't want
everything
to
that
do
you had
anything
done
more. I
before-
want some fucking rest.
I mean, I can crush your skull in or something, and maybe that'll give you the rest that you want.
I don't think so. I think I would just be this, but with a crushed skull, which would be unfortunate, but
Change things up a little.
What if we jammed you back into the box?
I really don't think that's going to do anything.
No, well, I mean, think. I'm hearing think now. Like, we could try it.
No.
Can I get you to at least acknowledge that whatever's going on there could potentially be dangerous if we try to fuck with it?
It wasn't there before and things were going perfectly fine.
Right, but now it's been exposed to it. Now there's been unintended consequences.
How do you know
of
it's not then permanently affected by it?
And
I
it
mean,
might be. And that means that if we remove it, it might have disastrous effects elsewhere. Like maybe, now that all of this has been going on, the only reason that it's even in control of things right now is because it's still connected. And if we try to disconnect it, things could get out of control.
Well, listen, mortal. I have time. I am going to go back there and lie back down. And you take all the time you want in deciding what you want to do with this thing. Take all the time you want. And as he says that, you start feeling a kind of rumbling. Verna, make a spot hidden check, would you?
11 under 12.
You feel this kind of rumbling, and as you feel it, you realize it's not the rumbling of the pumps, and in fact, the pumps don't seem to be functioning anymore. You don't hear that distant
What?
rumbling of them.
Mr. Seven Scholar, what have you just done?
I haven't done anything. I'm going to lie down. You're boring me. You'd think that after 1,000 years, any discussion would be scintillating, but no. He goes over and he kind of sits up on his sarcophagus. Ugh, my old bones. Some of the other, the one that was talking to you, Dash, is like, I don't think you're going to change his mind. Well, what's that noise? And you can hear it. It's kind of louder now. There's kind of a definite kind of rumbling and vibration. You can see a
Lorena
little bit of
is-
sand that starts to kind of come down.
I'm running to the stairway that we went up. Does she have a concern that because the pumps are off, the water is going to be coming back in?
A concern? No. But as you run there and you kind of look up the hole, you can see water just start pouring in. And you take a nice big shot of it right in the face, and it's strong enough to kind of push you back. And you kind of fall back as water just starts to rush in through that door that you came in from. And you can see it starts seeping in through the cracks in the walls. And some of it's starting to come in a little bit through the roof, but it's mostly welling up through the floor and through the walls, and it's just gushing down now. It's just gushing down through that doorway that you came in.
Is there any way I can go against the flow of water to get back up to where the pumps are? Because I think my thought is the pumps have stopped working for some reason, so I need to go check it.
Do you try?
Yeah.
All right, so what are you guys doing?
Is this pillar physical or is it energy? Because it looks like it.
physical.
All right.
There's a physical crystalline monument.
Okay, great. I'm starting to assess some sort of scaffolding situation, something I can do to help ascend if we need to get off the floor.
There's a chunk of the stone stairwell that used to climb up to the side that's still up there. It's still attached to the frame. You would just need to be able to make up the 12 or so feet that have broken down and fallen down.
Okay, so I'm looking for materials.
There's a
Timbers.
lot of wood. Most of it's rotten. You could probably get a couple of semi-decent pieces. There are braziers, so there's metal that you could maybe use to fashion, like, you know,
Footing.
something to attach on it, so on and so forth. And there's a lot of stone. There's the sarcophagus that's there. There's part of the old stairwell that's still there. And there's part of that altar that's still usable as far as wood goes.
All right, so I'm thinking some sort of ladder.
You're going to set to work on that. What's Dara doing?
I think Dara is following Verena and more concerned about her situation. It's like, what's going on, Verena?
I don't know. The pumps should have stayed working. I don't hear them. This doesn't bode well for us down here under the water level.
All
I'm
right.
headed up.
I'll follow
So-
you then.
Go ahead and give me a strength check, Miranda.
I'm following her, so I have to do one too, I assume.
Okay. So a strength check. I rolled a 9. My strength is 15.
So you succeed.
Okay.
I got 12 under 17.
Okay. So both of you start crawling up. The water's coming down really hard. Like, imagine that someone's got like a fireman's hose up there and is shooting that water down, and you're kind of crawling up and kind of getting up there. And as you get to the crack, the opening under where the statue is, you get up and you can see that the entire room where the ruins has just started filling up with water, and the water's coming in from that hole from where the fountain was. Right, the water's coming in through there. It's coming in from the hole where you were. It's just seeping in through the things, but it's also coming in down through the sides of this place. There's just like, it's almost a lake down here already. The water's just pouring down super hard, and as you're climbing up, you're finding increasingly difficult to kind of get up there. You manage to climb out of that hole that you're in, but there's just more and more water that's coming down. You're really not sure that there's a way to climb out through the way you came.
Just get over here and help me.
I gotta try though.
Yeah, wasn't it a ladder that we came down?
Yeah, so there was a ladder that was in that kind of little well thing.
Right.
That was newly
Water's coming
made.
out through there, but it's still there.
I'm gonna try. I'm gonna get up there.
Okay.
Same.
So as you try to go up there, give me another strength check to see if you can climb up that second thing to get into the room upstairs, through the stairs. Meanwhile, downstairs, can you give me a crafting check? And Nephra's helping you out, so you can take a boon on that crafting check.
Okay, cool. Start with that.
Verena?
14 under 17 for strength check for Dara.
6 under 15 for Rurina.
Okay, so you climb up that ladder that you have. The water's just pouring down. Like, imagine that like there's a pool up there that's emptying into this hole. You manage to kind of climb over it, and you can see that there's already like 3 or 4 feet of water that's kind of rising very quickly in that floor upstairs. You know for sure that at this point, getting to the main controls is going to be difficult. You have to restart the sump pumps, but there's like no noise right now at all coming from any of them, and the water's just rising.
5 under 14 on my crafting.
514. So along with Nephra, you managed to kind of jury rig a few steps up. The skeleton's like, doesn't matter, this place is going to fill up. Seen it before. It's happened a few times. The only thing to do is to, lay down and wait for it to pass. And he lays down on his thing, and the other skeletons kind of lay down also. The one that had been talking to you comes over, the one called Dash. He's like, is there any way we can help? We have the advantage of not needing to breathe.
Yeah, I'm sure there is. Maybe you could just help us drag these materials over here so I can get this ladder built, these stairs connected.
Yeah, absolutely. So he calls on the other three, and he says, Azaran, Lothier, Razik, come on, let's help these guys. And the one that he called Razik's like, what's the point? It's not going to make any difference. This thing's going to fill up with water. What's the point of getting them up there? And Lothier says, it's hope. As long as there's hope, there may be a way. Come on, Razik, let's put your shoulder into this. And he's like,
I look over at Nephra and Tertius. I like these guys.
Tertius is like, we're going to drown, aren't we? Like, we're fixing to drown right now. That's what's going to happen. I'm going to drown. All my life on boats, living in a dock, never once fucking any. And now I'm going to drown.
We're going to get out that way.
That way, how?
Well, we're not going to get out that way.
You mean like through the roof?
I'm hoping, actually.
There's what, like 50 feet, 100 feet of rock and dirt and flagstones and then the water.
How do you know? You know what? I have a better idea. Nephra's being really helpful, and I got these skeleton fellas that are awesome. Why don't you find another way out of here?
Oh, now you don't need me anymore. You get a couple of skeletons, and now you don't need me anymore. Well,
honestly, it speaks for itself, Tertius.
You know what you are? You're a fair weather friend. That's what you are.
I used to be totally about the business idea. In fact,
that betrayal again. The betrayal, fine. No, look, I don't want to talk about it. I'm just going to go look for another way out.
Well,
play with your skeleton friends.
I'll tell you, if you find another way out and you'll let us know about it and don't let Red Varlock know it's a way in, we can talk about it again. Because I still have really good ideas for the business, and I'm pretty disappointed about how things turned out.
That's low, man. That's low that you think.
Well, think about it.
I don't even want to right now. He goes off. So you keep building your thing. As the water's rising, it's about like up to your knees now. Upstairs, you manage to get out. You're back into the sort of main area of the underground where you were. So you're popping out here. So Tertius, Nephra, and Gerontis are not there. So the two of you are here. When you open this door, you can see that there's like water like up to your waist, basically at this point. So this here is not going to work at all. But you're not hearing the pumps. But you can start trying to get to the other pumps if you want. The water is clearly coming in droves down here, down this hallway.
Is there a way that Verena can determine at the main pump station that the sump pumps are not getting power?
Yeah.
Can she check that before? just I think to know like how much time we're gonna have to be away from everybody downstairs. If it's the windmills that got sabotaged or something, that's gonna be a really long time. Can she determine if the windmills are still sending power down here from where she is, or at least in that next room?
I'll say you have to at least get to one of the sump pumps.
Okay.
To be able to. So the two of you will make your way there. You'll make your way to whichever one you want to go to. As you're walking, it gets harder and harder. Like the water's reaching up to you, like, halfway up to your chest. And you're just kind of fighting the current the entire way through. And you'll eventually make it, we'll say, to this pump here. Once you get there, you can go ahead and make crafting rolls.
Yep. Person up there.
There's 2 years.
Jeez.
I got a 10 under 15.
Yeah. There is definitely no power coming to these things. So something's happened outside.
Well, that doesn't seem good.
Yeah, this is gonna take a while. I feel like they might be underwater by the time we get out there and figure out what's going on with the windmills. You suppose one of us should go back and tell them to get out of there? One of us can run over and
I mean, to be perfectly honest, I don't think that any of us can realistically get out if we're going together. I'll go back down and try to see what's what down there, and maybe there's another path that can illuminate if we do a little bit of digging. But frankly, I don't see all of them being able to muscle their way up like we did. It might be too late already, so I'm going to go back down and see if I can find another way. And
All right.
Dar just kind of swims and like goes with the flow to head down back that way.
No problem. The water's pretty high at this point. Like you're basically, if you touch on the ground, you're basically just at the edge of the water. You can just sort of let yourself follow the current that's just pouring down that hole. No problem.
Right.
What are you going to do, Bryna?
I'm gonna try to get outside and determine what's up with the windmills. So I'll try to, I don't know how quickly this will be, but I'm gonna try to work my way back to the steps that we came
swimming?
in. I do.
All right, give me a You're going against the current.
Yeah, I do. Of course I do. 7 under 14.
Okay. So you start swimming, and you're doing okay. It's very difficult. The current is very, very, very powerful. Like it's pulling really hard. And you get here. When you get into this room, you can see that the 4 undead that were here that have disappeared at some point along the way. I'll go and find them again.
Their tokens have disappeared.
Yeah,
They're still there.
They're still there.
They're just laying down, floating.
Yeah. Little back float.
They appear to be agitated. The water is coming in, and you can see that some of it from the pressure the amount of water that's coming in is causing a lot of pressure in these pipes, and they're starting to burst in places, and the hookups are starting to sort of split apart, and the water's just splashing down in this thing, and they're like trying to just sponge the water off the statue as it's just kind of raining down on it, and they're kind of trying to get it off, but of course they can't because it just keeps coming and coming and coming. When you come by, give me a stealth check if you want to get by them.
Well, I think I made a lot of noise. That's a demon right there.
That's a demon?
Yeah.
All right. Yeah.
We're
Do
in this
you want-
area where I roll 20s, so
Do you want to do you have an advantage that you could just blow, and if you blow it, I'm going to let you make it just a failure instead of a demon, because demon's pretty bad.
I believe we got.
We start with 1 for free, right?
Yeah, you have 1 for free every game.
Yeah. I don't believe I've used it. Yeah, I'll use that.
Okay,
I will
so you blow
just
it
fail.
just so that it's just a failure. So as you're going through, you splish splash, and you can tell that they're, at least 1 or 2 of them are kind of like turning and kind of paying attention to you, and they turn back to the statue, and then they kind of look over again. You're not 100% sure that they're not going to sort of come at you. You go through anyways, swimming against that current. And as you kind of turn around, you hear noise behind you. You see that a couple of them are following you.
Great. I will try to keep going, try to get ahead of them. Actually, there is the spot where I fell through the fountain before. like in a flash in my head, do I think that I can get around it and go through? Although we have not opened those doors.
You want to go
But the-
where? Sorry, can you show me on the map?
Yeah, I'm actually second guessing it at the moment.
You mean this door here?
Is that a door?
You never opened that.
Yeah,
It's like a grating.
I don't want to mess with that.
You didn't
I
open
will
it.
just,
You opened this one.
yeah, I'll just go up the way we came. I was gonna try something different, but I don't want to mess with opening doors that we've never opened yet. So
Okay. When you
Try to-
open the door, water from the burst pipes just sort of floods out again. Give me another strength check.
lucky I'm a strong old lady.
You are.
2
All
under
right.
whatever. 15.
You managed to get out here. You can still hear that they're kind of coming up.
Can I
behind you.
close one of these doors behind me?
Yeah. Give me a strength check for that because you're fighting the water at this point. There's so much water that they're almost completely sort of submerged. So pushing them and closing them is going to be difficult, but you can do it at your strength check.
7 under 15.
All right, so you close that door. You're coming through here. Give me another swim check here as you're getting close to that area, because now the current's really kind of pulling you back.
12 under 14.
Okay, so you will manage to make it here. There's water coming down those steps, but at this point you can kind of stand and walk. Going back downstairs for a little bit here. Dara, you arrive back in here as Gerontis and the others have started building this kind of scaffolding to get up on top of those things. And you come into the room. Morena's gone. Tertius is in here somewhere.
As soon as I come into the room, I start yelling at everyone. That's not going to fucking matter, everyone. This place is going to fill to the brim, and there's not anything we can do about it. And frankly, I don't think that the rest of us can swim up far enough to get out. We've got to find a different passageway to get out of this place. He looks over at Gerontis and says, I think we need to start looking for gaps.
So while that was going on, Gerontis, you've climbed up there. You've managed to kind of make it up to sort of that almost to the top of that scaffolding that you've built there. You're about maybe 12 feet or so beneath the ceiling. There's a little bit of water that's coming through the cracks, but not too much. The water in here now is probably about man height. So you're swimming, Dara, through here, but you're not finding the current because the water's sort of coming on through here. And Nefra's saying to you, Gerontis, like, I have no idea how we're going to get through that. I don't have anything that gets us through that up there. Dara, where's Verena?
She's checking on how to get the windmills started back up again. They seem to have stopped.
Tarshus is looking for another exit out of here, and Nefra, we're close enough if you want to grab that magic box. I don't know. I think.
I don't know. I mean, it doesn't matter if we don't get out of here, so.
Well.
What about
all
that?
right,
What
Dara,
about that thing you did, Dara, that pillar thing that you used to block the hole? Would that hammer through the ceiling?
That would let more water in even faster.
It might drain it and give us some sort of escape hatch.
Sure, if it filled enough, we would be able to swim to the top and through the hole if the hole is big enough, right?
It generally plugs holes. It doesn't make new ones.
Punch through and then bring it out of there, or does it stay?
It kind of just stops.
Well, let's try it anyway. We'll make our own gap, and then we can pull away at the edges.
All right, I'll give it a go. And
Do it over here. Do it over here.
I don't need to be close. It's fine.
I mean,
is
put
there
it over here.
Yeah. Is there any leverage point that I can work off of to try to do that, Christian?
The top of the monolith would be one thing. You could do it from the top of the statue or the hand. You could do it from, those would be like the highest points in here.
What's this? Is this statue similar at all to the one that I saw in the previous monolith?
Yeah.
It's the same. It's that.
Well, it's not. No. I know what you're talking about. No, it's not. It's not.
Okay. It's not the master
It's not
engineer.
Ambiance. No. It's
Yeah.
just. It appears to be like some of the details on it resemble some of the details in this temple, which was the religion or whatever that these guys built, and has nothing to do with the monolith itself. So this was a statue that they built, the skeleton guy and his people back then.
All right. So then I will go off of the top of the statue then, since that seems to be the biggest point for me, if the map is accurate to that.
Yep.
Okay. So I will spend my willpower points. I need to make a, not 35. Need to make a elementalism roll. That's a 11 under 15.
Okay, so first off, whatever the size of the pillar is, it's doubled.
Okay. So it's a 2 meter diameter instead of a 1 meter diameter.
And how tall is it?
Normally it's 3 meters tall.
Okay. So you summon it and it reaches up and it does what it usually does, which is, stop at, normally we kind of stop at the ceiling, right? That's what it does. And then if there's something there, it sort of crushes it and whatnot. It kind of hammers into it and it cracks the ceiling because it's kind of like it's so overpowered that it kind of goes further than it means to. It doesn't dig into it and it doesn't extend 3 meters. It stops still, but it kind of pops out so strongly and so powerful that it does hit and kind of crack the ceiling a little bit, and there's more dust and a couple of stones and a bit of water that kind of comes rushing through. Once it settles in there, though, it kind of stops it, but you can tell that there's pressure and you can see cracks that are kind of, spreading out from it.
I'm telling you, everyone, if I pull that thing down right now, it's going to bring a lot of water down on top of us.
Get up here. Get up here and then bring it down.
You don't understand. It's just going to fill the room.
I know, but that'll let the water down. The problem is it's way over there now. I can't reach it from here.
What good would it do to bring more water into the room, Gerontis?
Because it's going to drain to a certain point. We can climb out, or at least we could swim up to the hole and get out further and higher up into the structure and get back up on the level that we were on before.
Don't you control these things? Never says like the elements and stuff. Can't you do something with the water?
I have limited abilities for that sort of thing, and if I had a shift to sit on my arse for a little bit, it'd be fine. But it's not the same. And Dara's just going to get frustrated, and he's going to go over to the big pile of rubble and start investigating that. He's looking for anything that he can start shattering to potentially break through whatever this big pile of rubble is.
Where Tertius is there?
Yeah.
So there's definitely a lot that you can shatter. What I'm going to tell you is that there's a lot of it. It's really, really deep. I don't know to what extent. How many times can you do the shattering? Because there's a long corridor there.
Is the water flowing from or into this pile of rubble?
It is coming from it. So you kind of figure that when you were upstairs in the ruined temple area, right? There were 2 entrances. I pointed them out last week, but you would have seen them when you came. There were 2 entrances that led underground that had been caved in. So your feeling is that this is probably one of those that leads to that, but that room is filling up with water also. So, which is why it's coming down through the back, but also coming through here.
Okay, so the water's just coming in everywhere. I think Dara at this point is just going to start floating and see if there's any current that takes him anywhere into the room that might indicate there is even the slightest bit of drain.
Yeah, there definitely
Out
you would
of the room.
definitely find there would definitely be drainage for sure in a bunch of different points. Nothing major, but it's definitely going somewhere. Let me just
Then
See
that's
from
where he
different-
that's where he wants to go and start trying to shatter open a larger gap for the drain to, at the very least, hopefully slow the effect of how quickly this room is filling up.
Yeah, so that's a pretty good idea. So I'll say like spend enough willpower to do it maybe twice, and you'll be able to kind of create a drain that's going to buy you some time in that there's enough of it going somewhere. But the underground here is, there's no escaping through that because it's the underground, right? And so the water will seep through it to a certain degree. And now when you're shattering, you've caused kind of a pool area that's accepting more water. So the water does drop a little bit, and it will buy you some time.
Okay. I had to spend it 3 times because I failed one of my elementalism checks.
Okay. So when you're in the room, stuff only costs you half the willpower that it normally costs you, or you can do
great.
double the effect with the same number of willpower.
Okay, I'll definitely do the half willpower.
Okay. Meanwhile, Gerontis, what are you doing?
Hey, I don't know. Wait a minute. The fountain collapsed. Where's that?
It's outside. It's like on the
It's
next floor.
beyond this chamber. Okay.
Yeah.
It was up above.
Go ahead and I'm trying to find your character. There we go. Give me a crafting roll.
I better use my boon. Yeah. 11 under 14.
From living in an area that's so close to water your entire life, right, with Segovia being surrounded by water, one of the things that you know is that it's almost impossible to stop water, but it's easy to divert water.
Mm-hmm.
And so just going on the train of thought that you had of wanting to pierce the ceiling, if you had a way to do that, but at the same time force whatever water is coming in to go somewhere, like to go in a certain direction, to shoot off in a certain direction rather than just kind of coming through the hole, that might give you an access. Like you're looking at this pillar and you're thinking if the pillar was at an angle, it was flat, we could possibly like have the water kind of divert from there and then kind of scoot up. Like I'm just sort of trying to give you like ideas of what your character might think of.
Right. Show me where the pillar is again.
The pillar that Dara summoned.
Right.
Right now it's this big circular thing. If it was shaped differently, or if you had different material or something that, if you did make a hole and you could direct the water and you could kind of go under that, maybe that's somewhere that you could.
Well, okay, so I mean, the only thing that comes to mind is like trying to make some sort of a chute. But do I have enough material to do something like that?
Yes and no. Like it would require some jury rigging to be able to get. Like you could take the stairs that you're on, for example, right? The underside is smooth, so you could conceivably take it, but you'd have to find a way to turn it around and lift it up there.
Yeah, I mean so what Gerontis is thinking is that the idea is one thing, but the practicality of it, I don't know that I've got what I need. Unless
But
I
you got it like, I'm sorry, I don't want to.
chisel away at the pillar, or
You need like something to lift. Something that would be pretty strong that would lift up.
lift the pillar.
No, like lift the stair or whatever you want to use as a.
Right, but I don't know what that would be. My hydraulics got left back at the
Have you seen something that's kind of like a hydraulics here?
have we?
I mean, upstairs out of swim range, but
You're staring at the pillar, a pillar that rises from the ground and goes up. That Dara summons.
Right.
I mean,
Okay, so I mean, my impression when the pillar got summoned was that it didn't do enough piercing to the ceiling in the first place to make enough of a
Yeah,
difference.
we're just talking about trying to get something up there, lifting something up to act as a ramp or a chute for the water, right?
Yeah, I mean, this is like it's I guess maybe it's a little hard to envision what the options
Yeah,
are,
okay.
because it's like,
I get
you
you.
know, the materials were limited, the access is limited, the time is limited.
So
I mean, the room is at this point like up to Dara's chest, right?
yeah,
So it's filling, even if it is filling slower than it was a few moments ago. As far as like forcing the path of the water, we don't have a significant enough drainage point
Right.
to really like it's easy to get water to the drain. The water's just going to go there naturally the more it fills. So I guess I'm also a little confused as to
Okay,
how
so-
the ramp would even help.
all right.
Where
So
would water
here's like a different way to cast your thought. As Dara's sitting there and kind of taking all this in, right? You go back and you think about the Highlands and what you know of the monoliths there. Even though it was the water monolith, it was producing, once it got kind of wacky, it had the power to produce all the different elements. They were all kind of surrounding it and kind of acting because of it. And so you might think that all these pillars, whichever one they are, even though, and you remember that what Kay's character had told you, right? That these things were originally meant to each provide one thing. But because they lost so many of them, Armunaz and the others had lost so many of them, they found a way to transform them so that they could all do a little bit of everything. So the power within each of these monoliths, even though it is still primarily a monolith that does one major thing, the ability, remember they called them pluripotent, the ability in each monolith is the ability to create all the different elements. This one, on top of that, its primary focus is to amplify power. You are someone who manipulates elements. You are someone who has a power in your hammer to store elements, to do things with them, and we specifically also left them fairly vague so that you could kind of get them to do what you want. So as you're sitting there thinking about this, here you have in this monolith very likely a source of any element that you want. 2, you have something that amplifies your ability to use it and amplifies its impact. Right? You don't have a dig spell. Could you do something with that? You don't have a typhoon spell. Could you create one? You don't have a firestorm spell. Could you create that effect? Like, you have here a mana battery and a source of all the different types of elements that make up the world. Like, this basically affects everything. So what I was saying earlier, like, don't be afraid to kind of go wild. Like, this thing here is, this monolith is the thing that allows almost anything to happen. It just depends on how you want to use it. So knowing that you have this ability to amplify your power, this ability to do things that you can't do normally, and this ability to tap into any of the elements.
Sure. Like
Yeah, Shaper.
I
Can you
absolutely
shape
get
stone? Can
I
you-
absolutely get what you're saying, Christian. I guess fundamentally though, I'm running into a little bit of a brick wall creatively in trying to figure out a method that will not just destroy everything. Because everything that Dara does with what he has done previously with the elements, when he uses the elements, it's like trying to control chaos, first of all. And if he taps into these things that he has no understanding of, then from Dara's perspective, at the very least, it's just going to be reinforcing a massive amount of chaos. And like the physics portion of my brain is telling me that we need to find a way to drain the water. But the little bit of effort that I've put into doing that has only yielded a marginal result anyway. So
the water can't go down. It can't go south. It's stone there. There's just no way for it to go there. I'm not saying it can't go other places, but getting out of something like this usually requires making a hole somehow and getting out of it. Right? Now, do you have the ability to make the hole and to make sure that you don't get washed away? You don't know what your potential is now here. Dara is a stormcaller. Dara, as you say, deals with these chaotic elements. You have spent your entire life, or Dara spent his entire life, trying to just prevent these things from causing damage. But stormcallers have managed to harness that power. Stormcallers have managed to take some small portion of that power and make it do what they want through the rune locks, and they power machinery and they power defensive systems and stuff with that. So you do have the ability to bend it to your will. Now, you've never tried to do it maybe on a scale like this, but this might be the place to do that.
You have to believe.
Like you're in a place that will amplify. So think on it. I'm going to go and see Vorena.
Running up and out the steps.
You get upstairs, Vorena, and the first thing that you smell as you get out is burning. And as you
shit.
come through, finally, sort of up the stairs, and you can still hear the other two things kind of running up behind you. You come up and you crest the hill, and you can see that the 3 windmills are fire.
What about that? That's not an option. It sounds like, to get them working, because they're
Someone
They're
has set
burning.
them on fire, yeah.
What about that pipe? That it was like an exit pipe. I remember sticking out the side of the 3.
Yeah.
That what does Verena remember that did?
Give me a
It
second.
was a.
Sorry, you were saying?
Was it an exit? That pipe? Like, I guess I'm trying to figure out where it would go, because I'm looking for a way to help my people escape and not have to fight the water. But I don't remember where that pipe went. It seemed like a really
Oh, yeah,
large
so
pipe
it's
to
on
me.
the other side of... You were here.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
you are currently back here. You came out here somewhere.
Okay.
And the pipe's down
So,
up there.
yeah. Where does that go inside? Is that a possible means to get to my people?
It would probably bring you back downstairs, but you just escaped from there, so I'm not 100% sure why you would
Okay.
just run back in. But you can.
Well, I think because the windmills are on fire, and it sounds like they're not an option. Or are they? Are they not burned
Do you
beyond
have the
recognition?
means to extinguish these 3 windmills?
Okay, well, if it looks like I can extinguish the windmills, like kind of
You might
quickly,
be able to maybe extinguish one, but I mean, can you summon a storm? Can you summon water? Do you have any sort of, like, you're not going to be able
Nope.
to just walk up to one with a blanket and put it out, right?
okay. So
Like,
it's
if you have some sort of magical technological means, you might be able to save one.
no, I think I need to go back in and find another way. I wasn't expecting these to be set on fire. I don't see any way to get water onto them either. I know we're surrounded by it, but to get it all up there really quick.
So what do you want to do?
I'm gonna have to go back in and find a different way. This is not gonna work. Even if I could get one of them extinguished and running, I don't feel like... Do I feel like the amount of water that was coming in, like I could turn the tide, like literally, and send it back out
If
with just
you
one
had-
running?
Again, how do you want to do that? Like, if you had some sort of... All right, I'll tell you what. Let's take a break. It's 9:49.
Okay.
Let's take a break
Okay.
so you can think with a clear head, and see what you want to do. We'll take a short break, and we will come back in a few minutes. A reminder: we are still raising money for No Kid Hungry, wonderful charity that we are currently supporting. So if you can, we've already had a very nice donation by I want to say Animal Vegan, but I know that that's not the full name. Please check it out.
And
and-
fantasy animal vegan.
there you go. I knew it was an animal vegan of some sort. Check it out. The link will be
The
popping up.
fantasy part is the important part of that, I think.
Exactly. So yeah, go ahead, and if you can, check it out and help it out. And we'll be back in just a couple of minutes after we have sort of, refreshed our minds a little bit. Thanks for hanging out. Having recharged the batteries, mostly by just doing a whole bunch of shots of whiskey, and we are ready to rock this some more. Just a quick reminder that we are raising money for No Kid Hungry. The information for donations will pop in the chat. If you can, please consider donating. It's a beautiful cause, and we're doing awesome so far. $2,530 of the $3,000 goal. So we're crushing it, and we will have more opportunities in the next few games also to do this some more. So thank you so much for everyone that's donated so far. We super appreciate you helping out. And getting back now to our predicament. You are in this temple underground that is quickly filling up with water, though with what Dara has done, it's bought you some time as he cracked the floor a little bit and allowed more water to sort of seep out of it. You are currently trying to figure out the best way to get out of here. And we were talking about how, you have access to a monolith there that has all the various elements sourced in it and augments magical power. And so knowing that and sort of having had some time to think about it now, is there something, what would you like to do? Like, how would you like to...
While I was using the restroom, I had some thoughts, because that's the,
Are there
best place.
thoughts we want to hear?
I mean, at least some of the thoughts I'm sure you want to hear. Most of them probably not, because they're shite. But
Literally.
Boo.
You're really taking the piss out of this.
That's right,
oh,
just the
oh
quiet
god, my
moment.
chest. So yes, I have some thoughts. They involve explosive decompression and just how much air does Gerontis actually need to breathe.
All
So
of
I
it.
Are you gonna ride Gerontis to victory, or are you just gonna fill him up with air and hope he floats and just pile on top of him and ride off?
Breach.
I mean, the hot air is definitely going to help us out in this particular circumstance. So, as the water is filling up, I think Dara is like looking around the room frantically, trying to contemplate things. He definitely understands fundamentally from what he had remembered earlier the pure raw magic that is the monolith. So. You had said that the stairs that kind of go up were smooth on the underside, so there's space there,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Okay, so he's going to yell at everyone to get under the fucking stairs as fast as you fucking can, and like he is like trudging, half swimming his way to get under the stairs. Yeah, and then once everyone is under there, he looks in the direction of that pillar, which by this point probably isn't going to last that much longer, right? Because the pillars are not permanent. They actually go away after a bit of time. And he's going to crack the rune lock in Skyforger that is currently afire, and he's going to unleash a fire shatterstorm in the cracks that the pillar created in the ceiling.
So you can die by fire instead of by water. It's faster.
Or
So that it basically destroys large chunks of the ceiling to bring in more water, and then immediately after doing that, he's going to attempt to channel the raw magic that is the pillar through Skyforger to create a new rune lock of air and create a bubble of air that he can ostensibly control around everyone in proximity to him.
Okay, so
well, I'm
normally
normally do the fucking stairs.
normally the firestorm idea wouldn't work. It wouldn't be powerful enough. But because you're in close proximity to the monolith, it's enhanced to such a level that it becomes like a double the level of the thing. And you can clearly just see the stone melting that's on top of you. And as it starts to melt from this incredible heat that's there, more and more water rushes through. And as the water rushes through, it takes away the fire, right? But what that does is it makes the rock caterpillar, and then it starts to crack. And you can clearly see, to your horror, I'm not gonna lie, like it looks pretty fucking scary when suddenly you can almost see sky as just more and more water starts coming through, and almost kind of like all in one shot, a large chunk of the ceiling just gives way and just sort of falls down. And just before that happens, Tertius comes around from the other end of the corridor. He was like, "Hey, what are you guys doing?"
Yeah, I definitely did not tell Tertius to get under the stairs with everyone.
This looks dangerous. Where are you guys? Where'd you go?
We're under the stairs, stupid.
God damn it! You couldn't wait for me. And he starts swimming it over. The ceiling collapses. Vorena, upstairs, you look out onto the water as you're trying to figure out, can I bring some water? Is there some sort of system I can use? And you can see the water. There's definitely like some sort of hole happening. And you can see the water just sort of going in. There's this loud crack. And suddenly just water just starts gushing. It's very similar to when the water fountain kind of caved in upstairs on you. All of a sudden, it's like slowly, and then it goes. And you can just see the water coming. And as you look towards there, you see a couple of boats that are coming up towards where you guys are. So actually, give me, let's just see how much you can spot. So give me an spot hidden for a second there upstairs.
8 under 12.
Okay. So you can see a couple of things. One, over further to your right, you can see Red Varlik's boat that's kind of swimming away, that's kind of rowing away. You can see on one of the little patches of dirt or islands near where the houses are, you can see Thora, and she's throwing rocks at that boat as it's kind of going away. Coming down one of the alleys towards where you are, you see two boats that are kind of rowing up. Aboard them, you see a fairly large number of figures in red robes, dressed completely in red robes with hoods, and they look like maybe they have masks, and there's like a number of them, and they're kind of inching towards the back of, because you're at the back of the fortress, right? And they're kind of inching towards that, and then when that thing cracks, you can see the lead boat starts kind of getting caught into the draft, that drift that's being created, and it's kind of sliding towards that hole. And the other boat are kind of trying to pull off to the side, but you can see that this one boat's kind of hedging towards where this hole is being created. Downstairs, Dara, you touch your hammer, you try to channel the power, and you suddenly feel almost kind of like, and I'm going to use a metaphor, you'll get here, but it's kind of like you put the garden hose there to drink from, and then someone turned it on, and it just totally like kind of blew you in the face, right? So you're expecting a certain amount of power to come in, but suddenly the power that's just filling into Skyforger, your hammer, is incredible. The rune lock part that was added by Fimble the other day just shatters. The entire hammer starts to get filled with this energy, and you can see like the energy of earth and water and fire and all sorts of other things just sort of swirling around the hammer, and the hammer shaking in your hand, and it's gonna like the hammer has itself become a rune lock, and it's absorbing all these different energies, and for a moment you can feel a presence on the other side, like inside the monolith itself, a bit kind of like when you were in the water monolith and you saw Undyne, but you can kind of, for a moment, your mind touches the mind of the thing that's in there, and you can feel kind of elation at sort of reaching out to Skyforger and kind of filling it with all this power, and you can almost hear it kind of laughing behind, and your hammer just gets filled, and you know that you have currently access to all of the different energies, and this includes the energy of life, the energy of void, and arcane energy, as well as earth, fire, wind, and water. And all of this is in your hammer. Like, you can barely hold it. It's just shaken and just sort of filled with all these things. And when you reach into it and tap into it to get the power of air, it's literally like you open the door to your house and you stepped out into a tornado. Like, it just kind of completely envelops you. All of you just feel this huge rush of air, and the water around you starts to part in a sort of spherical motion as you can feel this energy sort of expand around you. And Tertius kind of just gets there just sort of in time, and there's literally, you don't see a bubble. It's not like there's an actual bubble, but there's this spherical emptiness around you. And as the water parts around you and it's coming down like crazy, you start rising with the water level, ensconced in this sphere of nothingness. You watch upstairs, Vorena, as this boat kind of, people are bailing out, but they're getting absorbed. You guys start seeing dudes in red robes falling through the water. You see pieces of wood. The boat shatters. The boat, Varna, you watch it as it twists and sort of rips in half, and the front half of it goes down into the hole, and the back end kind of gets stuck on the side of a house that's there, and it's just, and people are just falling out of it and kind of getting stuck into this. As you guys are rising, the hole is just getting bigger and bigger as more and more water rushes in, and the ceiling just gives way. And you see at some point this chunk of boat that just literally goes right by you and crashes right into the room below. And as you look down below, you can see sitting on his sarcophagus underwater the skeleton dude, the seventh scholar, just sort of wave at you, and you kind of feel a wave of sadness because you didn't take the other thing. It's still there, so he's fucked now. He's going to be underwater. And you kind of rise up, and Vorena, and the weirdest thing you've seen in your life, you see your companions. And remember, you don't see a bubble around them or anything. You just kind of see them floating up against the current of the water, kind of rising up, and the boat just misses them as it goes down. And there's like someone in a red robe that's kind of going towards them, and then he kind of hits something that you can't see, and he goes around them and it falls down the hole. And they sort of rise up. And at this point, as you're rising up, Miko, I'm going to just use a little bit of GM discretion here. You start molding the earth around, using Skyforge again, sort of molding the earth around so that the water is kind of channeled into an area, and it clears up kind of a strip of land where you can sort of stand, and the ground just keeps going. Yeah, toss in the other guy. The ground just kind of keeps falling in. And so you end up here.
So throughout all of that, I don't think Dara was really able to focus enough to like see all of the red priest dudes, you know, falling through. But I was certainly happy. Me personally was certainly very happy to see all those red priest fucks.
That was a crap ton more water than I expected.
Like 8 billion gallons, give or take.
We're draining the ocean.
But I should have just asked him to pump the city clear.
Yeah, so much for that.
And so as you come up, you find yourself now alighting, you know, you can kind of step off into one of these areas that's a little bit more elevated, and it's pavement. And the water started going around, and Dara has shifted the earth a little bit so that the water, you know, makes like a natural dike, and the water kind of goes around where you are, and you can see through it down into the bottom. You can still see that monolith that's just sort of glowing there. Purple. And Vereda, you see this, and you can see like a number of these red priest guys in the other boat that are sort of disembarking or kind of hesitating, not knowing what to do, but there's like a number of them over there. And you rise up and you land on the ground, and you see Thora is over here, just sort of staring at you guys. And then she just starts laughing. She's like bent over, just completely laughing. You can see now that the windmills are on fire behind where Vorena is on the hill there.
I'm sorry, who did you say was laughing at us?
Thora, your girlfriend.
Oh, right, okay. Sorry, I didn't quite hear the name.
She's apparently been abandoned. And she's over here. And she's just laughing. You can see like her backpack and her stuff on the ground around her. Further beyond, you can see Red Varlik's boat that's swimming away.
I think Dara is still kind of caught up in the moment of what just happened, contemplating the potential that Skyforger is probably not functional anymore, and is just
it feels functional. Feels like there's still a lot of power trembling in it.
Didn't you say that it had started to crack?
No, I was talking about the ceiling.
Gotcha.
In fact, as you're checking Skyforger now, you can see.
I was worried that Skyforger was basically falling to pieces.
Oh no, the Skyforger is fine. In fact, when you look at it now, and you know you've used up the fire and the air elemental, they are sort of slowly rebuilding themselves.
All right then. Definitely a little confused and transfixed by that notion.
Vorena, what do you do?
I breathe a sigh of relief that my friends are out. Well, yeah, they're my friends now. I'm gonna look around. The red priests were arriving, right? So they weren't the ones that burnt the windmills.
Well, they weren't here. They were on their way here. They were coming.
Right. So they're
came up. You saw them coming down this way.
It was
Right,
Fred
so-
Garlic.
they didn't do this.
Oh, they definitely did this.
You don't
They
think it was
did,
Fred
but-
Garlic?
No, they're just getting here though. I don't think it was Fred Garlic. Okay, well anyway.
Thora's grabbed her stuff and she's kind of walking over.
She knows.
That was the darndest thing I ever did see. You were just rising out of that water like you were some sort of holy figure. Well, thought I'd seen everything, but guess now I truly have. We're full of old tricks there. Old tricks there, you old raggedy ass Farragut.
Just another day in the life, I guess. And he just kind of
Uh-huh.
winks at her.
I think what the captain wants to
Coming
know is who
down,
caught
Verena?
those windmills on fire.
Are you coming down, Verena, you said?
Guess. I mean, I don't want to because it looks like they're doing foreplay again, but I'll slide down and come over. I'll just swim across if I can.
Yeah,
If I need
give me
to.
a swimming check, because now the water's
Okay.
like pulling to go into that hole.
Oh, it's tumultuous.
Yeah.
Dragon.
Nice.
I don't know if they can see it.
I was hoping you wouldn't roll too badly, but so you watch Verena as she backstrokes
I do all the strokes, just a little show off.
and comes ashore.
A bit of dance.
So when you said that you were looking to drain this place, you weren't kidding. You literally did just that.
That wasn't me. Well, what did you do?
I didn't do anything.
No,
Well,
I'll
was
turn
pretty
to.
pissed off at you guys, and you waited till you left, and you figured if y'all were repairing these things, you probably would hate it if you set them on fire. So we set them on fire. I told him not to do it. I told him that he'd been defeated fair and square, and he should just go home and lick his wounds. And so he kicked me off the boat. 5 years I've been working for that guy, and he just fucking marooned me over there on that 10 feet square of pavement in the middle of this water. Can you believe the gall?
Did you a favor?
It was Fred Garlic.
Mhm.
I'm gonna kick his ass.
He
Roast him.
he keeps a grudge. Not gonna lie, and in fact, this is probably just the opening salvo.
I don't think he understands what he might have just unleashed. He might keep a grudge, but he's never seen a devour grudge.
I tried to tell him that. I said that runt there, that shorty, he gonna keep coming at you until there ain't no more nothing to come at. But he wouldn't listen. You know how they are. She
think
thinks of her in a man. I mean, you know how they are.
I think it's high time I roast his little garlic off.
Well, there'll be plenty of time enough for that. I think we need to figure out how we're going to get out of here and whether or not those red robe wearing clowns up there mean us any harm.
What? Fucking red robes where? And
Just over yonder.
Dara just looks over at the red robe guys and he's like, oh, fucking A. And just starts trudging in their direction, spinning Skyforger in his hand like he's going to destroy them.
Tertius pulls on your sleeve, Drontus. Did you see that boat? Just 5 feet. Missed us by 5 feet. Could have taken us
Yeah.
right the fuck out.
I know, I did. I did.
Jesus. Can you imagine being taken out by a boat?
Well, I
Like-
mean, I just couldn't imagine how much water was going to come through that ceiling. I had,
A lot of water.
there was a lot of water. I had like bathtubs full coming through in my mind.
I mean, I'm a clean boy. I've been taking a bath every day of my life since I was knee high to a grasshopper.
Mhm.
And I gotta tell you, I've never seen this much water in one
Mm-mm.
shot.
No, there was more to that than I expected.
Yeah.
I had to
Powerful
make,
too. Just
oh yeah,
don't mess with
brought
Mother
that half a
Nature. That's
boat
all
in.
I gotta say.
I would think it
Well,
was Mother Nature.
I
Are
was
you
thinking when
fuckers
you go
going to keep
back,
jawing at the mouth, or are you going to come help me kick these assholes?
Well,
Oh,
we gotta
fine.
figure out how to get across. I mean, are you going to swim?
What?
Do I still have my hat?
He's just keep going.
you will get across there, and as you get there, you can see that they're disembarking. They're not too sure what to do. They keep looking at the hole like whoever was going to give them orders has maybe gone down that hole. How are you going to get across? They don't seem inclined to get across. In fact, they look like they're maybe trying to get back into their boat and skedaddle on out.
How many are there?
There's a number of them.
A number of many.
Dara's going to step up to the water, thrust Skyforger into the water, and see if he can control the current to bring the boat over to him.
Bring the boat to the hole.
I thought you were going to Moses it.
You're gonna get him on fire.
Like over here beside the yellow flower, good eye line to the boat, and just try to lift the current over to him.
You manage to do that. You pull them over, just ignore the other boat. They're like, what the? And they're trying to kind of row away from you, but the water literally just sort of makes like this huge wave and just sort of pushes them over. All right, let's roll some initiative. So these guys are going to try to come across and help their buddies. These two
Lorena is yelling out, why are we fighting these guys?
Trust me, these fuckers deserve to die.
Do we know anything about who they are?
Yeah, do a myth and legend, I guess.
Oh well, that's a dragon. Whatever I needed.
Nice. Yeah, you've heard about these guys.
Yeah.
These guys are like this sort of weird blood cult from Karth, and they're primarily known as slavers, and that's kind of like their main gig. So they're pretty much free game.
They're buttholes.
I think Verena spent some time in Karth, so she probably knows who they are, actually. Yeah. So, yeah. Branch out.
Nephra will run out and try to go and get some higher ground.
Tertius, get over here. This is
I'm coming.
Business meeting, and I'm taking out my axes.
All right, so let's do some initiative. We'll keep the same initiative throughout once we draw it. So if you have any power that you want to use for initiative, use it now. Having been near we didn't kind of play it out, but having been near the monolith, you would have healed all your wounds if you had any, and regained all your willpower points. So go crazy. Lorraine, I'll go at 2. All right, 7, 8, 4.
Jerry?
The Gerontis, and 1 for the bad guys. Anyone want to do something?
What about Nephra? She's gonna go.
And Nephra's going to go at the same time as you guys go.
Okay.
I'll have her go at some point.
Well, I mean, following the inspiration of Dara, I mean, I'm right behind you. We're boarding. Are you boarding?
I mean,
Boarding?
Dara's planning on throwing all of these guys overboard, so...
Oh, well, I'm staying behind you. I got your back.
So let's see if they can cross. That one definitely doesn't make it. That one makes it. That one makes it. That one makes it. That one doesn't make it. Okay. So the first one rolled a demon. So as he's swimming by, he gets caught in the current, and all you hear is as he falls to his death in the thing. The others will manage to alight here, but the first one to go will be the wizard who's back here. And he will drop a where are bad guys?
He will drop his keys in the sand.
We're looking for those.
That's right. He will call down some lightning.
Come here, lightning.
Now, the spell can be dodged or parried as... so, you see one of them sort of just gesticulating in the back there. And as he does so, you hear a crack of thunder and you see a bolt of lightning coming down towards where you guys are. Now, you can attempt to dodge or parry it if you want, but that will cost you your action. What do you want to do?
Is it toward everybody?
It's seems to be aimed at Vorena, but I will tell you right away that it's going to fork and jump to everybody else who's around her. So you kind of all have to make that decision if you want to dodge and parry or just suck it up.
I'm gonna
I think
use my
Dara's
fast
too focused
footwork.
on the boat.
Same.
Can I fast footwork a spell? I can, right?
Well, yeah, it gives you the ability to touch, so you're going to do an evade
Yeah.
roll.
Me too.
Right.
That's a 1.
What's up?
What's
Dodged
up?
it.
Dodged it. Nice.
I also got a 1.
Yeah.
Nice.
2 in a row.
Pretty solid. Let's see about Tertius.
Oh my god.
Tertius not even going to try to... And Thora also makes it. So the lightning hits right in the middle of where you are, hits the ground, explodes in this flash of light, and the ground is like all blackened for it, but it doesn't actually hit anyone, thankfully for y'all. This one's going to unleash with his crossbow, and it's going to hit on Verena, doing 9 points minus your armor.
Okay.
And then these two are gonna come in, and this one will go on Tertius, and one will come on you. The first one will attack you and double slash you, and both attacks will hit. Doing first attack will do 7 points minus your armor. The next attack will do 5 points minus your armor, as he attacks you with double scimitars.
Who, that was me? On me?
Yeah, that was on
Oh, sorry. So who?
11
7
and
and 11 and 7.
minus your armor.
And the 7 I already took, right?
No, that was a
So I
different
took
roll.
7 and 7 and 11.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh my goodness.
I know. Minus your
What's
armor.
your armor?
It is 2.
Okay. So you took a total of 19.
Jeez. Okay, well, I'm still up.
We got those free potions earlier.
Yeah, from Fantasy Animal Vegan.
You guys care if I take one on my turn?
Do it.
Okay.
Do it.
Yeah, right.
Thanks.
At 2 will be you.
I'll
Ah.
take that potion.
Hey, 2d4 plus 4.
Does that take
4.
her whole action?
4. Crazy.
Nice.
That was the best I could have done.
Yep.
4, 4, 12.
All right. Yeah, it takes your action that you can move if you want.
Yep.
If you move, you have to do an evade roll to avoid a attack of opportunity.
I will do that. I'm going to back up here and I will roll my evade. Tie, 14 over 14. That
Okay.
makes it.
You're good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you back up there as he doesn't push his advantage on you, and you move back there. At 7 would be Dara.
So Dara is going to, feeling mightily refreshed, thankfully, because I was running out of will from all of that magic I was unleashing earlier. He's going to attempt to gust of wind and blow as many of these fuckers out of the boat as he can.
How many targets can you hit with that?
Normally, 1.
Yeah. All right, so you can try to hit 2 of them.
Let's see here. So we'll roll my elementalism. That's a 13 under 15. So the elements get channeled. And do they get to do anything?
Yeah, they can try and evade, I believe. One of them completely failed, so one of them goes flying off. into the water, and he's kind of trying to swim as the water current's kind of pulling him. The other one managed to kind of just duck under the side of the boat just as the gust of wind comes. But that takes his action.
Okay. So regardless, they take 5 points of damage, and the one that got blown gets blown 5 meters.
Okay. Cool. No problem. Drontis.
All right, I would like to.
Actually, it's all creatures in a 10-meter cone. It's not just one.
Okay. I would think 2 is probably
10
meters is 30 feet.
Yeah, since the monolith is there, I'll let you try on the third one. He rolls a 4, so he doesn't get blown off, but he takes the damage as they duck, and
I'll take
it. He wastes his action ducking. All right, Drontis.
I'm going to bust around from behind the captain, and I want to use, I'm thinking, Brawl to try and just linebacker shove this guy into the pit. If I can.
All right, give me a brawling.
Come
He
on.
does not have an action to dodge you anymore.
Come on, baby. No. Can I push it?
Yeah.
I'm going to push it because I rolled a 15 and I need a 14. There's a 3. Wow.
Nice. So you take a physical condition. Choose a condition of your choice. Well, not physical, but whichever. Choose one condition.
I will choose angry.
Yeah, right. So you bust into him, and he goes flying back, and he hits the side. And there's no water there, so he kind of crumbles in, and he kind of grabs onto the side, but he's kind of hanging inside the hole and sort of trying to hang on for dear life over here.
All right.
Tertius will attack that guy, and Nephra will take some shots, take some damage off. Back up to these guys at 1. So these guys are going to disembark and come at you. Like this one's going to run past you, but these two are going to come in at you. This one's going to keep fighting that one. All right, so this one, we'll start over there, is going to shoot a crossbow bolt at Gerontis and hit. You want to attempt to dodge it, or?
Yeah, I'll fast footwork it again.
All right.
Use them fast feet.
That's 11 on 14, I think.
Nice. Cool. It misses you. The wizardy kind of guy is going to unleash another lightning bolt. So you can make evade rolls if you want to sacrifice your action. And that would be Vorena and Gerontis and Tertius. Or it's going to come up here and help you.
I guess I was an 11 on a 12, but I still made it.
All right, so you sacrificed your action for that.
No, because I did fast footwork.
But you can only do that once per turn, right?
That was against. I mean, that was against the crossbow guy.
Okay, so you succeeded.
Now we got the lightning guy, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I am not going to use my action.
Okay.
To evade it.
Vorena, are you going to do your fast footwork on the lightning?
Yep, I am going to do that. Try to do that. Oh, okay, and I'm gonna push that roll.
So you take, hold on, with the lightning, you take, what kind of armor are you wearing?
Can I,
No,
can I
not you,
push?
sorry, Gerontis.
Studded leather.
All right, so that's fine. So you can add your armor to this. You're taking 12 points of lightning damage, but your armor will reduce it.
To 8.
Shelly?
Okay, so I pushed the roll and it was worse.
All right.
So
So
I'm
you-
taking it and a condition, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Cool.
So you take
I'm gonna-
10 points. If you're not wearing metal armor, your armor will protect. Sorry, it's 2d4 when it bounces. Sorry, not 2d6. Hold on. But if we're not wearing metal armor, your armor will protect you to a
I'm
certain
wearing
degree.
leather.
That helps. You take 5 points of lightning damage.
Okay.
This guy is attacking that on Dara. First attack will hit. Second attack will hit. Do you want to try and dodge in or parry one of them, or
No.
right? So that's 6 points for the first one minus your armor.
Okay.
And 7 points for the second one minus your armor. The second guy will hit and will hit also. That's 5 points, and then 11 points.
Oof.
Minus your armor still.
Yeah.
And this guy's like, and those guys have gone. They're happy with what's happened. That guy's gone. That guy's hanging on for dear life. Does he manage to hang on? And then it is 7. No, sorry, it's Verena 2.
Is this guy behind me fighting?
Oh yeah, he was coming at you. Thanks for reminding me.
Sure.
Damn
Now
it,
that you mention
Shelley.
it.
He doesn't need help.
He hits
Oh. I was gonna hit him.
6 points minus your armor, and 9 points minus your armor.
4 and 7. I drop to the ground
For bomb.
exactly at 0.
All right, Kung. So you're not out. You're broken. You can't do anything except crawl or something like that. What you don't want is someone taking another shot at you. So hopefully one of your friends will come to the rescue. So on your turn, you fall, and then at 7 would be Dara.
So Dara is pretty much surrounded at this point, so probably can't get to Verena.
Yeah, it'd be difficult.
Yeah.
Can he yell at me? Am I in the zone to was it rally?
What's rally?
Oh, I don't know if I'm making this up.
Yeah, you're making that up.
No, I'm not. I'll find it. You guys
There's
keep
such a thing as rally and cry, but it's a power. It's a heroic ability.
All right. I think so. When I did the pillar before, you said that it was twice as big as it had been, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to attempt to do a pillar underneath of these two guys directly adjacent to me.
Okay. Go for it.
So that's 6 under 15. And so then they need to do an acrobatics roll to avoid falling off of the pillar.
Must say they don't have acrobatics. And they both fail. So they go up in the air and then tumble off and fall down, is what you're saying.
And so basically they end up getting thrown, how many meters in the air is that? And then you said that the pillar also doubles
Yeah.
in height, right?
Yeah.
So they basically get thrown 6 meters up into the air
Oh,
before falling back down.
yeah.
Does the damage that they take get doubled or no?
If they're doubling the amount of height to
Okay.
fall, then it would.
So that's 18 points of damage.
Ow! They're not happy. As you literally see those two guys just go. "Ah!" and then fall back down on the ground painfully. Thora will come in, and actually, I'll wait. I'll let you guys go first. So, cool. Anything else you want to move, or
Is there any chance that I could, like, as part of my movement, push this guy that's standing next to Verena back so that I'm standing between him and Verena? Or is that like an action thing?
yeah, no, that
I
would
want
be
to
kinda
knock
like
him
a-
down or do
like
damage.
I would certainly say that you can kind of run around and kind of go there, so that you're kind of there.
Yeah, I'm basically trying to just prevent him from stabbing Verena in the throat.
So you're gonna go there and you're gonna hope for the best. Basically, is what's gonna come.
Basically, yeah.
Cool. At 8, Gerontis. So you
Oh.
hear Verena behind you. Go,
Yeah. I'll drop to a knee and pop open one of the healing potions and administer that to her.
all right.
Come on, Captain. I'll even let you wear the hat. You just got to get up.
All right, not as good. 10 back. I'm up. I got 10 hit points.
Plop the hat on your head, and I'll stand back up and I'll face the attacker on Tertius and get ready to deal with that guy.
Thank
We'll
you,
see how long
Gerontis.
those 10 hit points last.
I know.
All right.
Whatever you need, Cap.
I'm happy to remove this skull off of you. So the NPCs, she will attack the one that you drop there. She will take a shot at the mage on the other side. Roll a dragon. Plunking this guy pretty solidly at the other end. All right. And then Gerontis and this guy, Tertius and this guy are fighting. And then back around to 1 to them. This guy, third one down the hole. We'll start with the guys at the other end. The crossbow guy is going to shoot at Gerontis and miss terribly. And then the mage is going to drop another lightning bolt. On top of you, Gerontis, you're going to use your fast footwork.
I will indeed.
Am I going to get hit by it this time?
Yeah, and Vorena also.
I got a 6 on 12. 6 under 12.
All right, that's good. Are you
I'll do
attempting
fast
to-
footwork.
Yeah, are you attempting to evade,
Yeah.
Nico?
No. On top of the fact that my evade roll sucks, I don't have anything that lets me not make it use an action. So
Okay. So Gerontis, you made it. So you evaded, and it will jump to and do 8 points of electric damage, minus your armor if you're not wearing metal.
I am not wearing metal armor.
All right. This guy is going to want to press his advantage, and will go to attack Verena. I will, if you want, Miko, since you did say that you were going to try to prevent him, if you want, I will let you use up your action to try and parry his attack on Verena.
What's parry based on?
Yeah, you make an attack roll.
Oh.
You make an attack roll, and he makes an attack roll, and whoever has the biggest difference between
Yeah,
their
I think-
target.
I think I've got to.
Are you wearing a shield?
I do have a shield.
The shield gives you an advantage when you're... So the shield allows you to...
As a
if you're
side
trying
note,
to parry with a shield, you roll against any strength weapon skill that you have, but with a boon.
Nice.
I did not make my evade for my fast footwork
Oh, you
for
did?
the lightning bolt.
Okay.
So I don't even know if this is going to be an issue.
You take 6 points of lightning damage minus
Oh. I'm still up. Okay.
So yeah, so Miko, you can make the roll with your shield. It's going to cost you your action, but you can attempt to parry it.
5 under 14.
All right. So he's got a 9. a 9 under
I beat my roll by 9.
15. He's got a 9 under 15, so you get a greater difference on your roll. So you interpose your shield just in time, and the scimitar sort of bangs off of it. Very good, very well done. These two will be getting up. One of them will stay on Thora, but the other one is kind of angry at you. So he's coming at you. Coming at you live. Elminkus evade. He fails. Thora's going to take attack of opportunity on him. She hammers him in the knee. He's not happy. All right. And I think that's all my dweebs. 7. So Vorian at 2.
I'm gonna make this count. I'm gonna backstab the guy right.
Then Miko
Go.
parried?
Yep.
Go for it.
So he cannot evade this, and I get to roll with a boon. Yeah, one of those hits. 6 under. Yeah, that works.
Cool.
So he's gonna take an extra D8. This is happening. Not great, but 13 damage. Done better.
Yeah, not bad.
Oh, 15. 15. I forgot to add this +2.
Cool. At 7, it would be Dara, but Dara, you have your action doll. I'll give you your movement if you want.
I don't think there's anywhere I can really move to that would be better, because I don't think Dara has a sense that he can walk on water. So
No. And Andy has given everyone each a potion through his donation.
nice.
Oh,
you,
yay!
Andy.
Each of you have a potion.
Thank you.
Producer trying to save us once again.
All right. And then at A, Gerontis.
I'm gonna do a Gerontis thing.
Make a cabinet.
I'm gonna go, well, sort of.
Dowels.
I'm getting, well, kind of. Actually, none of those. I'm gonna go Apocalypse Lately, and I'm gonna dive into the river and swim at those guys on the other side.
Oh, man. Apocalypse lately. All right. You dive into that water. Give me a swimming roll.
Come on.
God, I
I
hope you
can't.
make it.
I'm not a great swimmer. I don't really have the
You
skill.
getting an advantage?
I don't have an advantage.
Oh, well.
Is this a strength or an agility?
Swimming.
I don't have the skill. Oh, but
Yeah.
you know what? I can.
Yeah, you're human, right? So you can
Yes, I can adapt.
pump some willpower and adapt. That's right. That's great
Yep.
power.
I'm gonna. So that's cost me 3, and I'm going to swap out my brawl.
Yeah, I think that works.
Swimming is an agility thing, just FYI.
You know, I think you can. I'm okay with the brawl. Like you're like just kind of powering your way.
Yeah, just
I buy
fighting
it.
against the water.
I buy it. I buy it for $1.
Come on, baby. Oh no.
Oh no.
Well, it's not a demon, but it's not.
Does it matter that
Success.
Rhinipu just granted advantage to a player?
I'll take it
Oh.
if I can get it.
Yeah,
Good
I'll
chat.
give it to you. I'll give it to you.
Sweet. Thank you.
Thanks, Franny. Cass.
I rolled the exact same thing, so I'm going to push it. If
Push.
I can.
Yeah, you can.
3 rolls to try and swim, not fall into the pit. 2. Boom.
There we
Yeah.
Ah.
You take another condition.
All right, let's see what do I. I'm going to take disheartened.
go. Yeah.
So you kind of drift very dangerously close to the pit, and just kind of at the last second, kind of manage to kind of power through, and you land there. Awesome. Well done. So I'll say these two NPCs together managed to kill one of these. Tertius is fighting that guy. The guy hits Tertius, and Tertius is like, and he falls to the ground, and he's like, don't worry about me, I'm fighting, I'm okay. As he struggles and keeps fighting that guy. Back to 1 then.
Back
The
to
guy,
our doom.
yeah, the guy that's got the crossbow will drop it and draw his scimitars and come at you, Gerontis. I assume you're going to use your fancy footwork.
Well, I'm out of willpower.
Ah, well, it's harsh reality. So 2 attacks come in. You can sacrifice your attack to try and do a parry.
Nope. I'm not gonna.
All right. So 2 hits. First one is 10 points minus your armor. Second one is 4 points minus your armor.
Getting a
Second one
little
completely useless. on his part.
dicey.
Sweet. Okay.
This guy can't really see much. He looks at you and winks. And then he's going to teleport 100 feet. Right up there.
How is teleport any better than flying? Just saying.
Because I don't allow flying in the game, but I let teleport in. So he'll pop up there and be looking down at y'all. One of these guys, so there's 2 guys left. One of them will attack Verena. You're going to use your fancy footwork.
Naturally.
All right.
Yeah, I'll use it.
Roll it.
Hey, I made it.
Nice. So one attack misses. Are you going to try to evade the second one too and sacrifice your action, or pick it in the teeth?
Oh, what? Me?
Yeah.
I'm gonna try to block it. No, that's dumb. That's dumb. But if he hits me, I will die. So I better block it.
Are you going to parry? Try to evade it. Actually, you have to parry a weapon attack. You can evade that range.
Isn't it a separate attack though?
Sorry?
This is like 2 scimitars, so it's 2 separate attacks, right?
So
Well, you
wait,
can- You can use fast footwork on multiple attacks. You just can't use it multiple times on the same attack.
You have to pay the willpower point.
Yeah, as long as you have enough willpower.
I don't anymore.
Oh, okay.
I've been dodging lightning bolts. Yeah, I'm gonna have to just so I can parry it, right?
You can attempt, yeah.
Yeah.
So make a roll on your weapon or whatever you're using.
Okay. Exactly what I needed. 12.
12. All right. Unfortunately, he had a greater difference. So he still manages to hit you, and your weapon takes damage, but it's probably not going to matter. Not too bad though. You take 5 points of damage minus your armor.
Okay.
And on Dara, a dragon,
Lovely.
and the other one's a hit. Are you going to try to parry? Not even the dragon. You have your shield, man. It gives you a
If
boon
I-
on parry. You could at least.
If I do, I can't take an action, which means I can't try to do the thing that could potentially save more people.
Yeah,
So
but if you're dead, are you going to be able to do the thing?
I'm gonna hope that I don't die,
Okay.
because, like, it's the same either way. Either we spend every single turn parrying and using actions and ends up no result, or I just take a chance and take the hit.
So the first one was 6 damage minus your armor.
Okay.
The other one's a demon. A dragon. So it's going to be 12,
Doesn't matter.
15 points.
I wouldn't have been able to parry the demon anyway, so
So 15 points minus your armor.
that didn't matter. Dead,
You
dead,
down?
dead.
Dara falls to the ground.
It doesn't
Uh,
matter how much it goes over for me to actually go down.
So you're not out. You're just kind of unable to fight. At 2 would be Verena.
Well, she parried, so she has no action.
You're right. Yeah, I did. I parried.
True. You can try to move. No real point in doing that, I guess.
Where is Dara?
Right next to
Dara's right at your feet.
You might not recognize him for the skull.
Oh, he's got the big skull on him.
Yeah.
So, but that's an action to do. Yeah, I can't do anything then. I will stay where I am.
Okay. Cool. And then after that, it will be Drontis.
Yeah. Well, this guy gets a face full of axe.
Ask him a question.
I am.
Ask him if he cares.
That's a dragon.
Nice.
Yay!
There we go.
Something going our way.
Okay. That's my third one tonight. Okay, so remind me again, that doubles the
Full damage. Full damage.
Full damage? Okay.
And then you roll.
Sweet. All right. Well, this guy's not going to be very happy. So full damage alone is going to be 18 points.
Nice.
And then another 7. So 25 points.
You're right that he's not happy.
And can I topple him? Is that a thing, or is it?
You tap him twice with your axe, drops to the ground, swords clattering away. You can move if you want.
Aha, right. I'm gonna. Can
Try
I?
to swim back.
Would it be a free action to grab up that crossbow?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, I'm gonna grab up the crossbow and I'm gonna move to a position where I can get a sight on that dude up in the building.
Cool. No problem. You can do that. And then at 10, Nephra, that's a hit and a miss. Points. She's going to end this guy. Thora, seeing you on the ground there, will be like, Dara, don't you fucking dare die on me now. You still owe me a good old shag. And she'll come over to you and yep. She will pop open a potion, smash it down your gullet. She goes, this is gonna taste bad, but that's all you deserve right now. And you'll get back 10 points.
Ale flavored.
As
No
it goes on.
cherry.
So you come to, and you see first just this halo and this dark figure on top of you, bringing you this sweet, sweet nectar of life, and then the light comes in, and you see Thora's bulbous, rugged, scarred, beaten face, and no one has ever looked as good as she pours this potion down your throat. She's like, "You're lucky you're on the edge of death, or I'd kick your arse. Now get up there and fight."
Dara's just coughing.
Go at 1, Dar. No, sorry, did go at 1 actually.
I was going to say, I have a 7.
Yep. So that guy's out of. He can't do the lightning bolt anymore, but he will do his fire thing. And roll an 18 and miss. This one will attack Thora. 16 that misses, a 10 that hits. And that one 19 that misses. You're gonna do fancy footwork. It's a 7. Varina, second
No,
one. hit.
I do not have any points to do any of those things.
You want to just try and parry?
Yeah, this is I'm never gonna get to do anything. I will take the hit and try to be able to do a hit of my own.
All right. You're lucky. It's 4 points. 5 points. Sorry, minus your armor.
Oh no, 5 points minus my armor. Okay, I'm still up.
Nice. All right. Your action.
I will swing at the guy right in front of me
Go for it.
with. Oh jeez. Okay, that is a 16 over my skill. Can I push?
Yep.
And I'm gonna be angry now. I'm already disheartened, but now I'm angry too. That's a 4. That's a hit.
Nice.
Okay, not great. 8.
No, that's good.
Good enough?
Not quite. Anything else?
Nope.
At 7, Drontus. Sorry, 7,
Uh,
Dara.
Okay. So I have a question for you.
Yeah.
I only used. You had said before when I had charged Skyforger against the pillar, it had encompassed all elements.
Yeah.
Including life and void.
Yes,
And I only used air to get us out of the thing.
that's right.
And then I used earth to shape a bit. And I used water to drag the boat over.
Yeah.
But I still have life and void.
Yes, and fire.
And fire. Can I unleash a life Shatterstorm?
A life what?
Shatterstorm?
I don't know. Roll.
Can I create a life Shatterstorm?
Roll elementalism and let's see.
All right. I'm going to use my advantage on it.
Go for it.
That's a 20 and a 3.
Good for that advantage. So, what's your intention with this life storm?
I mean, ideally not to die at the moment. Like I think Dara is just focused on like unleashing a primal energy, and what that might mean he doesn't know, and I don't think he much cares because he's seeing like all of his friends except for Nephra, who, you know, is standing so far out of the way that, you know, she can't be seen. He's seeing all of his friends like near death basically, and so he just wants to unleash a raw primal force of healing and see what happens.
So you summon that, and what happens is you see out of those weird yellow plants around you, you can see it's kind of like a breeze that's caught into them, and they're kind of beating in the wind, and then the petals start to fly up, and then they kind of swirl around you, and the petals are being dragged up around by this kind of swirl of light, and the light that's reflecting off the water is kind of playing up and encircling you, and you see these motes of this light and water kind of circling around you. And as these petals fly around you and your companions, everyone that touches you has a power of healing. So I want everyone to roll, we'll say 4d6, and that's the number of petals that hit you. And for each one that hits you, you heal 1 hit point.
Everyone, or everyone over there?
You're kind of far.
Yeah.
Sorry, Gerontis.
I only had to put myself out of range because I'm epic.
Do I roll the 4d6 as well, Christian?
Yeah.
I rolled 10 petals.
Nice. So you take 10 hit points back.
Awesome.
I got 13.
Nice. Tertius is like, I am a god! As he rolls 8.
Yeah, I guess he was unfortunately in the area.
I
Well,
would have gotten 18.
14. He rolls 14. He's like, I am a god! Look at my wounds! I am healing them by my sheer force of will.
I think his opponent's disheartened.
His opponent's dead.
His opponent's dead, so.
So, and I will say it persists, so that next round you do it again, but with 2d6 instead of 4.
Cool.
Right. So that's swirling around you, bringing you life.
Does Thora heal any?
No, she got like 15. All right. At 8 would be the Tersh,
Jerry.
the Geronta, sorry.
Question. So I don't have a crossbow skill. It just is my strength.
Yeah, we saw that last time.
Well, I mean,
It would be your agility, though.
don't be rude. Is it agility? Because it says strength on the equipment table. At least I have to have a
so then
strength.
strength. Yeah, there you
Is that a heavy or a light?
go. It is heavy.
All I got to do is hit, and I'm aiming at the Wizzo in the tower.
No
in the
problem.
building.
Lizzo?
Well, that's a 16, so I'm going to push it.
All the conditions.
All the conditions.
And I still miss.
Oh no.
Now this is gonna hurt because I gotta pick something useful.
Yeah. The bowl flies tonk and hits just sort of right next to his head. At 8. The Nephra, let's see if she hit anything. That's a miss, and that's a hit. So she was shooting at the wizard also. She hits him for one shot. Tertius is going to come running in around and tag that guy. Ooh, we got a dragon. Tertius with the dragon. Coming in
Nice.
hot.
Nice.
Nice. All right. Tertius comes in. Crunch. Gives that guy a good what for?
About time you did something fucking useful.
Oh my god. And with her 2 hits, Thora will hammer that guy and finish him off. Crunch.
See, that's how it's done, you fucking dumbass.
I don't have a hammer. All I got is this rusty cutlass. Leave me alone. The other guy is going to roll his evade so that he can back away without causing an attack of opportunity, but he rolled an 18. So he's not making it. So Dara and Verena can take attacks of opportunities on him.
Does that take our actions?
Dragon.
Oh!
Yeah.
I'll let Verena take this one.
Oh, nice roll. 2. 16.
Nice. And did you add your full damage?
Oh, no. No, I didn't. Okay, so my full damage is 2d8 plus 4
Oh yeah, that's good enough.
plus 2.
How do you kill this guy?
I am disheartened. I'm angry. I am just gonna take his legs out as he's running away and then bonk him on the head.
No problem. You pull him out, he kind of, as he's dropping, you hit him with the pommel of your weapon and he hits the ground and he's not moving anymore. I will say that in the interest of getting on with this, there's just a wizard left. He's going to kind of crawl back, and it doesn't have any willpower points left, so you'll be able to get him. I'm assuming you're not just going to cold-bloody murder him, or are you?
Oh, Dara's gonna throw him in the fucking hole.
Ah! All right. And there you go. We're out of initiative. You managed to survive.
Not by much.
Not by much.
I come back to the shore. Did you see me almost get sucked in the hole? I thought I was a goner.
You made
Hey,
it.
look,
though.
we've got a boat.
We got all kinds of boats.
You do have a boat.
We
Tertius
got
is like, man, I thought you were a goner.
I know. Did you see that?
I don't even think I could have found your axe after when I went down to loot your body. Not that I would have done that. I was just,
You want it now?
hypothetically.
I
Huh?
can give it to you now.
No, you're just going to hit me with it. I don't trust you anymore.
Or you shouldn't. Not until we sign an actual contract and we have a lease.
Not a contract.
A business license contract.
Oh, fine. God, there's always fucking hoops to jump through.
I didn't make up the rules.
Rules are made to be broken, man.
As
Yeah,
they're
business.
arguing, Dara is like standing there contemplating throwing throwing him into the hole with the red priest, but then he spots Thora out of the corner of his eye, and that distracts him enough to not.
Yeah, she's all cut up and bloodied and bruised and looking sexy as hell.
Damn right.
She's like, well, looks like I'm going to need a new gig. You guys hiring?
Absolutely.
I
Have you
guess
been
that-
to the Highlands lately? As
No, it's
Dara
been a
like
while.
hands her a potion.
It's been a while, and she drinks it. Ooh, yours tastes much better than mine.
That's
Juice
what all the
flavored.
ladies say.
Rare. She's like, shall we go check in the boat now, or do you want to palaver a little bit longer?
I mean, I was thinking the nice bushes that are filled with vitality. And he kind of gestures towards the yellow flowered plants.
Tertius leans into Gerontis. Oh, are they
It's been going on. It's like,
but she's been
Lazy
trying to kill
cattle
him
around
for
here.
like 4 sessions.
I think that's part of it.
God, fairies are so weird, man.
Yeah.
He looks at Vorina. How you doing?
Dara just glances over his shoulder at the two of them. And you and Gerontis haven't been flirting.
Now, wait a
And
minute.
just continues
Look,
on.
it's just,
Wait a minute.
let's not insinuate.
Is that what that was?
I don't know. I just really admire your cabinet making skills, man.
All right.
You know?
All
Like,
right. All right. We can do business together.
So what I would like
That way you
to
call
know, after the Dverg are done doing their thing,
The windmills are on fire.
yeah, the windmills are toast. So this is sort of what you can figure. So with Dara's help, you figure that the monolith produces energy. And Dara knows enough about the monoliths, and you know enough about sort of the engineering and whatnot. And he's seen how the monoliths were used in the Three Dragons.
The other place. Yeah.
Right, to power energy. So the two of you working together could use the power of the monolith to power the pumps. And with the extra energy that they're providing, the pumps will work. So in time, you will be able to get those pumps to do what they're supposed to do and drain out the city in time. So you have that. Nephra will say that she doesn't think that it's right for her to take thing, but she'll say that while Gerontis was building his scaffolding and whatnot, she was talking to the scholar and asking him about that other person he mentioned who came. He said at some point there was a woman who came, and he talked to her, and she thinks that he talked about an Ashkari woman with desert garb that came here, and he says that she thinks that she probably knows something about this, so she's going to go back to Karth and try to hunt that Ashkari woman down, and she got a description and whatnot, and try to see what she can do with that. But she's not going to take the Cardea. She's going to leave it here. What do you do with the Cardea? Do you leave it there? Do you move it?
Oh yeah, absolutely. You're talking about the thing that's healing and keeping the old fuck alive?
Yeah.
Pseudo alive?
Yeah.
Absolutely leave it.
That poor skeleton man never did anything to anyone.
Hey, I'll offer him a way out. I still have void in this hammer.
Oh, that might work. That might work.
I'll offer him that way out if he wants an everlasting rest and
You
doesn't have the balls
yeah.
to actually pass on his knowledge to an 8th scholar.
Well, he says, you know what? If you're willing to do that for him, if you can do that, and he will hand his staff over to you, and he will say, all the knowledge of the scholars is in this rod. And if you will grant me my rest, I will make you the 8th scholar.
I'll find someone else that deserves it a bit more. I know this druid fella that likes to sing and tell stories, and he definitely deserves it a far bit more than me.
To hear stories again, to hear singing again.
I just void him.
You void him, and he completely falls apart. The skeleton disintegrates, and he's just completely gone. You can tell that he's gone. And when he does, so too do the other skeletons in the area. The other four that had risen are gone when you go back downstairs. And you can't really make out where they've gone. And you get the staff of the scholar, and so you can do what you want with it at some point, but it does contain a fair bit of knowledge. And Gerontis, what will you be doing?
I'll be
Let's
getting
go
back
around the
to-
table and let's do that. Tell me where your character goes next. So you will restore the power. You will empty the town.
I'm going to go straight back to Scovia with Tertius, and we're going to open up a cabinet making business, and I'm going to get a fat loan because of my reputation after all this.
Yuvala's going to set you up. She's going to guarantee you the money and help you set up. So you and Tertius will go into business. He'll have a little cafe on the side, and you'll make cabinet.
Excellent. And one thing on the trip back over, after having heard Nephra's story about her father and stuff, I'm just, Nephra, does your dad need a job?
Sorry.
Nephra, does your dad need a job? Just the offer's open.
If I ever find him, because the thing is that I played that character in an offline game before I started streaming as the bad guy in the story, and he did the most heinous, truly most terrible things in the world. So he's just the single worst character I think that I've created in this game, and just the thought of him making cabinets with you is highly hilarious to me. So thank you very much for that. What will Verena do?
Verena is going to set up a B&B, a guest house, if you will, right here in the renewal of this area here in Segovia. She will, however, hire out for plumbing and hire out for any electrical work from now on. Done.
Probably not a bad idea. And Dara.
Before departing here, I think he will check in with Verena, first of all, and remind her that she has an open invitation to come to the Highlands and, perform some of her miracles of engineering and see the Dverg miracles of engineering and potentially bring, the power of the windmills to the Highlands. When she has time. Definitely stop and check in with Nephra before Nephra departs. And, thank her for the adventure. Tell her she's always welcome in the Highlands. And if she ever needs a strong hammer, she knows where to find one. And then for Gerontis, I think he will find Gerontis and pass over to him his utility belt that has all of the tools that he carries on it.
Your utility belt is awesome. It's like a bag of
Wow.
holding for your tools, and it gives you bonuses when you use them.
Letting him know that, every good artisan starting a new shop needs good tools.
As soon as you're settled, let me come up and make your cabinets for you in the Highlands.
We'll see.
Island cabin.
You ever worked with stone?
We'll see.
But then after saying, goodbyes to everyone here in this very awful place, from his perspective anyway, such an awful place.
Hey, live from the apocalypse. Thank you for raiding us. Thank you for coming in and bringing the peoples. You're absolutely awesome. We appreciate you. Thank you for doing this. We are just rounding out the game. So you just came in time to get the last few moments here. You were saying?
Yeah, and then on his way back to the Highlands, he will go in search of whatever forest Amlos happens to find himself in that day to deliver the staff of knowledge that was given over by the Seventh Scholar. And I am assuming that he has managed to talk Thora into coming along for the ride, so to speak.
Oh yeah. She's definitely She's definitely good for it. As for Verena,
What about me?
what do
She
you
already said we should.
Oh, yeah.
The bed and breakfast.
That's
Yeah.
right. Sorry. That took me by surprise, the bit of it. As for Nephra will head back into Karth, will spend a good amount of time seeking this Askari woman. She will, one thing, she will learn more about her father and what he's done in recent years, and will realize that there's no redeeming him, and so will not attempt to do that. However, she still wants to try and heal the lion. She will eventually meet up with this Ashkari woman, and in time, one come to discover that this woman's name is Clothgilda, that she used to be a very dangerous and infamous assassin in this world, but that something happened about 10 years ago in a fight against some creature named Fugue, when a power that was inside a woman named Saga left Saga's body and came into hers, that this power calls itself Live, and that it originated from the tree Yggdrasil up in the north a long time ago, when it was awoken and instilled itself into Saga in season 1. And having met her and now realizing what is inside of her, they will perhaps attempt to restore Karth to what it was, but that is a story for another day. As we finish here today, season 2 of Shadesong. Thank you so much for playing this game. Thank you so much for coming along for this ride. And thanks so much for making great cabinets. Super appreciate it. We raised some more money tonight. Thank you to our donors, Andy, G3D, 3DW, I never remember Andy's thing, and Fantasy Animal Vegan for donations. Super appreciate you. We are at $2,560. Closing in. Andy G3D. That is the name of the man behind the scenes. Let's go around one more time and tell people who you are, what you got going on, and then we'll let poor old Ty here go and get some rest because he's old and he's getting grumpy.
That's not why.
That's
No
all right.
more
We'll
old
start
and
with
grumpy
you,
than
Ty,
us.
actually. We'll start with you, Ty. Tell us
all
about
right.
yourself and what you got going on and what's happening.
Sweet. Just as a recap, actually, if you just really want to know what's going on, and if you happen to have an inkling about what New of Arden is, you can zip on over to adventureslaying.com and get the update. We'd love to have you follow us on our pre-launch page for the crowdfunding. We are going to get this thing produced this year. Very excited about it. Otherwise, yeah, that's the best place to go. That's where all the stuff is. I have been playing Gerontis tonight, the cabinet maker, and it has been a lot of fun. Gerontis is a fun character. It was a fun place to have him in, and I am glad that the cabinets have garnered such a reputation. We're going to do good business. I think we've already made a profit in the first month.
So much. And I will say this because Will and some of the people from Live from the Apocalypse are currently in this chat. Gerontis's cabinets are so renowned that they made an appearance in my Vaesen game a couple of weeks ago.
Yes.
Better the cabinets than the dowels.
They transcend systems and games and appear to places. So
Awesome. Well, it's been a privilege.
thank you so much. Thanks so much. And yeah, I look forward to slinging dice with you again.
Very soon for us.
Yes. You know it. Mark Borg next Wednesday.
Yep. That's right.
Ugliness will ensue.
You know it.
My character as a scythe. Shelley. How you doing, Shelley?
Hey, I am good. I am thankful that you invited me to play in this second season of this. It's been pretty great doing the Yontelbairns and then doing this. It's really been the best, and so thank you for inviting me along. I am Shelly. I can be found at Real Flea Monkey on Twitter and Flea Monkey in the chats. You can find me here. I guess next week. Now it's just 2 games a week. It'll
For
be
now.
For now.
it'll be Greyhawk on Tuesday, and then I also do Pathfinder Homebrew with Tithalanos on his channel on Wednesdays. That's what I got going on now.
Cool. Thanks so much for taking the time to come and do this. Appreciate it. It's always a lot of fun playing with you. I look forward to playing with you again Tuesday in the Greyhawks
For
thing.
sure.
Thanks, Sean. And finally, the man who could have been the 8th scholar and rejected it in favor of, rubbing humps with.
Let's be honest. Dara's not a scholar.
No, it's not. Really
He's smart, but he's not a scholar.
not. He's,
Hi, everyone. I have been Miko this evening, playing the wonderful character Dara, who I've gotten to play in 2 different arcs of Shadesong. Very, very fun. Love the character, love the game, love playing with all of these wonderful people. If you are interested in the things that I do, you should check out the links in the chat or check me out on the socials at _KS_GM. You can often find me doing things over on the Wanderer's Haven channel, even if it is behind the scenes and other such, because I'm on the production team over there. Yeah, look out for some stuff coming up in the future on the Love Not to Turn channel as well. Just throwing it out there too. Last little tidbit: at the end of the month on the Wanderer's Haven channel, I'm going to be debuting a awesome 8-part, hopefully awesome 8-part game in my homebrew setting of Ystera. That starts on the 31st. It will run for 8 weeks, and I have an amazing cast of players in that. And stay tuned to the socials for more details.
Cool. Well, good luck with that. The one that you'd run that here was very successful. It was a very good game. So I have no doubt it'll be very satisfying. Also very good, and you do have a great cast. So thank you for making the time to come and play with this. Even though I know you've gotten really busy, I super appreciate it. So
Happy to be here.
I am the Bleakseason on all the socials. Tomorrow we got Blade Runner here, a special Blade Runner game, raising funds for No Kid Hungry. It's gonna be a Blade Runner with a twist, with a bunch of great players: Darling Creepshow, Damnable Dave, Eric Mona, and Crombie. We're gonna rock that hard. We got, as we were saying, next week, Greyhawk on Tuesday, and Dungeon Mr. Ty running Markborg for us on Wednesday, which will be pretty savage. There will be nothing here next Thursday, as we're taking a break to do session 0 for the next game, but Andy and I will be back a week after that with a brand new Lord of the Rings campaign starting up here on Thursdays instead of Shadesong for a while. So stay tuned for information about that. I want to thank Andy. I want to thank everyone who showed up and the raids, and everyone who donated, and everyone who hung out with us. Thank you, Cass, Fantasy Animal Vegan, and Live from the Apocalypse for raiding us. Everybody else who hung out with us and chatted with us. We are going to raid Chaotic and Writer, member of our stream team. So give him some guild superior love when we get in there, and come by and check us out tomorrow and the other games if you do so feel like it. Thank you very much, my players. Thank you to Andy. Thank you, everyone. And we are out. We will see you around the corner. Ciao.
Bye. Bye.
Au revoir.